Hey guys, how's it going? So, today's stream is a little bit later in the day than I usually stream. It's like 7 p.m. I think right now, but I really enjoyed our Across the Obelisk stream yesterday. I just really love this game. And it kind of hit me when we kind of did the first two runs for this second save file, that it really would be fun to have this kind of be the game that when I don't know what I'm going to stream, because a lot of the games I play, Genshin, Starro, Arknights, tend to have really large, like, bursts of content, and then there's long periods of time where I really don't know what I'd do for those games. And I really do still enjoy playing roguelikes, that we could just slowly work towards getting everything unlocked for this game. It does take a long time. In these games, a lot of the cards are pretty quick unlocks, but so many of the items and pets and characters especially basically require the investment of an entire run to get them. And I just thought, hey, it'd be really cool to start out. So we already had this kind of run booted up, but we'll just kind of see how far we can go. I have a bit of a plan for what we can do for unlocks early on this save file. Last stream we did 2 runs. The first one, I was even surprised we beat Ilmer, but we died on second plane to the spider sub-boss. And the second run, I believe we got to third plane and died to a random enemy. I just didn't realize after playing on my main save file for so long how important the town upgrades were, the character ranks were, and all that stuff. They make such a huge difference. But even beyond that, I wasn't expecting to win like a full complete run on a new save file for at least like 5 or 10 runs. It's interesting because I thought about doing something similar with the fresh like Binding of Isaac save file when I didn't know what else to play. But the problem with that game is it takes like easily, I'd say like 1,000 hours unless you're really good to complete a save file to Dead God status. Whereas in this game, I have about 150 hours in it and I have a completed save file in terms of unlocks. And that's including the fact that I played a lot of these unlocks like the Sands of Ulamin DLC right as they came out and unlocked everything early on. So I wasn't able to just look up where I needed to go. Whereas with everything nowadays, at least until the next big DLC, I can. So my plan for right now is, let's unlock Otis, and then maybe look for tools, as well as Malika Zek. I think the early comps that are really powerful are Reginald Otis for Bless Sanctify is a really strong early game comp. And late game as well, it can scale pretty well. As far as Dark goes, I know it doesn't scale well at high difficulties or at late game in general because of high Dark resist on like Archon and Henchek, I think the wizard's name is. But in terms of just fast grinding, achievement grinding at low difficulty, it's one of the fastest comps I think for unlocking things. And what's partly important about that is you can get these characters early on. Tools is a 2-plane unlock, you just have to beat the spider boss. I believe Zek and Malika are 2-plane unlocks. And Otis you can do on the first plane in general if you beat Yager. Beyond that, I do have a page pulled up on my second monitor for the pet unlocks and the, the character unlocks. So I have a general idea of where I need to go for each of them, and we'll just kind of take a look. For example, I think like the sheep unlock you can do on the first plane as long as you get a blue event. The problem being, oh, and I didn't even realize we could start with the bunny. The problem being, I think you can't do that at the same path as Otis, unless you get a good rift portal. I also did not know this was a thing. Sure. But as far as a lot of these unlocks go, I believe the harpy, you have to like take the sack of grain to the very top of, I think the red plane's name is Velkorath. The wolf I know you can get, I don't know if it's the unlock, but you can get in the node between Ilmer and Yager. So many of these though, I think are pretty wow, you even get this already? That's big. I didn't know there were so many starting pets. These are from DLCs. I think the rabbit was always available. But Scarab is Sands of Ulamin for sure, and I think Rift was the last DLC. But some of these will take some time. Like the beavers, you each pretty much have to dedicate a run to, because you do the exact same thing for all 3 of them, but it takes your second and third plane up, working towards that. So who knows? There's somebody who's probably made all the super efficient like paths to get everything. I don't know what all of those are, but I figured, like I was saying, let's just super basic way, just get going and try and see what we can do. I think Sylvie is another character though. As far as late game strats go, once we get there for like high ascension, I think a big strat is people use like Magnus, Sylvie, Gustav, and then I want to say Nesglect, and they go Sharp Sylvie. I don't know how that works because High Ascension caps the number of stacks you can have of things, but I imagine that affects, you know, Sharp less than it affects things like Fury or Bleed or Poison. But as far as just building quick decks go, I'm not really sure what all works. I didn't even realize for a long time that you're capped at your starting town. But I do think going a Bless build on Reginald usually works pretty well. And I should probably get into the habit of making quick subsets. They don't have to be super great, but then we can just quickly get through the first town. Because something I noticed when I used to play multiplayer in this game with friends was if everybody does like a manual loadout every single time, the starting town can take forever to get through. So let's not spend too much time on it. We'll just upgrade some random cards. As far as removing things, I think the starting cards in every character's decks are fine. Sometimes I remove certain cards, though, that I don't think I'll get as much mileage as. For example, if I'm going Bless build Reginald, I don't really care about the Foresights. And barriers can be really nice. We'll keep them in. But like on Zek, for example, I usually don't go super greedy Zek build, where Zek can apply darkness to himself in order to do more damage, because when you're running Novelia, Zek, and Malika, not exactly a huge issue trying to get, you know, all of that stuff active. But we'll just see how things go. I still don't know why they put some dark cards early in the Queen's deck, because it's really not what she's focused towards. But yeah, we'll just spend what we've got, and then is there any good equipment in the start? No, let's just get going. I really don't like spending too much time in the starting town, which can be to my detriment, but what have we got here? I'm trying to remember. I know, I want to say it's this one you do to get to Nezglect. The problem with going for Nezglect is that it's one of the Act 4 unlocks. Same thing with Novelia and Leia. I really want to focus on characters and pets you can get in the first 2 or maybe 3 acts for at least a couple runs. I believe this is the sheep run, and that would be a 4th starting pet. I think, what if we... No, okay. I really do think we should start with Otis. I was curious if we could do sheep and head up there. I don't remember what this purple event is. This might actually be the Straw Hat achievement, which is a really cool achievement, really powerful, but I don't think we'll get to Act 4. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's just kind of the issue with early game across the Obelisk, is we're not getting to Act 4. Even if I was better at the game, I just think an early save file, it's tough. But you do have a lot of resources nowadays that you didn't, like... You can't start your first run with the pet shop unlocked because of town supplies, but I had no idea we would have access to 3 pets. I thought I was going to have to activate, or unlock some of them. And even if they're minor effects, the pets do make a difference. And they're guaranteed to be with you until hand check, at which point they'll probably die. But they're still big difference makers. So we'll just kind of see how things go. Each run we'll try and get as far as we can this early on. I won't really go for quick reset runs, because we still can use the town supplies, we can still use the extra resources at the start of the following run. But a lot of times I think that works. I am actually willing to take a Corrupted Pommel. I think Sylvie usually goes for range damage sharp builds, but I don't mind having a little bleed, and for now I think we'll just take what we can get. I'm a big fan of, I think I mentioned this last stream, but I'm a big fan of early to mid game doing the Holy Crusader build for Reginald here, especially just because you can get this Chastise, and then you basically get a free Bless stack as well as a free attack if you're using a zero cost flash, sorry. But I think let's look around for something unusual. Yeah, this is Straw Hat event. So when we eventually go for that, and to go for that, I'm going to need to be able to consistently hit Act 4 if not complete the game. But this is an event that literally takes the investment of the entire run. At least until the second to last floor, but on the last floor there's very little you can do. Let's see, as always, I think Magnus just functions really well as an AoE blocker just because of his speed. I think I mentioned this last stream, but I love playing Heiner. I don't think Gruckly usually functions as like a defensive warrior, and neither does Yager, to be honest. But between Magnus, Heiner, and Bree, who all kind of serve that more frontline-y aspect, I think personally, Magnus just does the job really well and safely. Because Heidner, in a long scaling fight, you can give everyone Fortify and get ridiculous amounts of block. But it leaves you really open to chip damage, I've found. When it comes to, Bree, I mean, Bree and Yager both kind of serve a frontline purpose, as well as Gruckly, where Gruckly frontlines by killing everyone, Fury and Bleed. Yager just gets an inane amount of max health. And Bree, I don't know, I wonder if at high difficulty people do the, because, like, Bree's final talent upgrade can allow her to, instead of getting block, every time she would gain block, she gets thorns. I do wonder if people do that. I don't remember what her other talent is, but I can't imagine that would go over very well. I'm trying to remember. I know this is a divination node. I'd have to look. I just know that, even though Nesglect is arguably probably the strongest healer, it takes, like, I think he's an Act 4 unlock. Old notes. Oh, yeah, this is from the... I think when I did this, they didn't actually have this icon. That's nice. It's for the straw hat. I believe it's an armor piece. But really cool unlock. Reference to One Piece. It also gives you the Catharsis upgrade. Like, if you're willing to devote an entire run to it, maybe if you're just grinding for hero XP or something, it's a really easy way to win the run. But here we go. We have some dialogue options. As always, I think this early on we should just be taking something for everyone, you know? Like Magnus, we can give some resistances, give some HP to our midline. And then for Otis, I didn't realize this was the case, but when you have Yager in your party, Yager, you don't have to fight him up here, and you just get all of his supplies. But apparently, I found out yesterday, when Yager's in your party, Otis just doesn't show up, so you can't recruit him because you can't defeat Yager, which is interesting. But yeah, honestly, when I thought of what like good early game strats would be, as far as characters you could unlock early on, the first things that came to mind were quickly go for a Dark, or, you know, work around the double healer strat with Reginald Otis. And the problem with going for maybe the Dark comp first is I don't feel like Dark comp is usually functional with just one. I think Zek and Malika is enough, and you could take like a warrior and a secondary supplementary damage dealer instead. But I feel like without at least two characters focused on proccing Dark, it's a little bit too difficult to consistently get it down. But we'll see. I'm trying to remember what talents we got. I think we're like rank... might not tell us here what rank we are with each character. Because I think it's like every 4 levels, right? You can get a card back, you can get a skin sometimes, or an upgraded item or card, talent cards. So it makes it feel good when you've invested into a character. But at the same time as well, once you've maxed out your town supplies here with the town upgrades, you can just, you can literally just use those to level up characters. So I have all my characters level 50 on my first place save file. But I definitely have not played all of them anywhere close to the same. I maybe should have tried Magnus's there, but I think it's fine to take this fight. I still don't remember after all this time what every single encounter does with every single interaction. Because I believe at this interaction, if you pass a dialogue check, it's fine. I think Magnus was saying he could try and kill them. He's the hero from the Wolf Wars, which is actually the skin we're using. I know if you beat Bellyfor in the hatch, I believe you can tell them and they don't mess with you because you have the horn with you. And speaking of Bellyfor, that's how you unlock Malika. You basically go to that sub-event, kill the demon, and then give her the horn. She's like, cool. So I think she's meant to be like a witch doctor aesthetic. So I'd imagine the horn of like a great demon is probably pretty cool. But here in a sec, once we get between runs, I'll look over at my page that I have pulled up here for what we can do for everything. Because I was trying to think of the pets I use a lot. And a lot of them are comp specific. I think the beaver that gives you Palisade cast is really good. because it's just a consistent every other turn if it's not upgraded. Little bit of block for everyone. Pretty helpful. But who knows? The pets in general I don't feel like are meant to be like game breaking, especially because handshake will kill them. So if you're entirely reliant on them, it might not go so well. But we'll see. But it's kind of nice to see, like, I feel like I am getting better at this game over time, even though I'm still a very casual enjoyer of this one. Because I think I mentioned it, the first time I ever played this game, I think my first 2 runs were with friends. So because of that, I had characters unlocked, as well as levels in those characters, whereas I think it took my 2nd or 3rd run for me to even get past Yomer on my own, the tree here. Whereas our first run here, we were still able to do it. Granted, we had access to the queen, other things, but either way, you know, it's progress. Like nowadays, if I were to start up a new Isaac save file from scratch, I'm sure I'd have a much higher win rate than I did my first time, because, whew, that was rough. Even when Repentance first came out, like, yeah. I might need to upgrade these so that they're not reliant on sharp, I forgot about that, or just get sharp charges. It's a little hard to rely, I feel like, on stacking early game, because part of the character's trees is being able to get, like, extra sharp stacks. You know, one big thing with Heiner is you need to make it so Heiner can stack Fortify pretty much infinitely, which requires a few tree points. There's a lot of them. Gruckly as well, I think, is pretty reliant on the Bleed and Fury trees. But who knows? I feel like I need to be much more specific with what I grab for Sylvie, but I do think things scaling off of Sharp is good once I get some more Sharp cards, and I don't want to have her have dead cards early on. Wolfguard, target shooting here. I've tried both of these. I think both of them are fine. One's a little bit more spammy. I usually go for the cold build when I play Amelia, but to be honest, I don't know if that's the best, but here we go. Assuming we don't somehow lose this fight, this should unlock Otis. As far as who will replace, it's funny because late game I think Sylvie's just outright way better than the Queen, but early game I'm actually considering taking Sylvie out. Because again, it's just so hard for us to work on sharp stacking. And I feel like something that also makes Sylvie really good in the team comp you use late game, at least one of the ones I've seen people use, is Gustav paired with Sylvie also makes it really easy to sharp stack. No harm in playing this. I always forget. I mean, it's free, but it's on use. Because there are some abilities, like I believe it's Duel's Black Talons. When I was first starting out, I was really bad about using it, thinking it'll save for next turn, when I believe that one's a one-turn use. Let's see. Barricade. Something that's important to keep in mind with Magnus too is he's not applying Fortify. I always forget that too. That was another really bad habit I had for a long time. Was using block abilities if you're slow. And again, that's what makes Heiner really bad. Heiner can't be a team blocker unless he has the ability to apply Fortify to everyone. Because block fades. Armor doesn't, but block fades. And I've made that mistake too many times. But this fight shouldn't be too bad. I mean, we'll be a little worse for wear, but we did manage to grab an AoE healing spell for Reginald too, which is always nice. Healing in general, like, just has always felt bad early game, I think, in this game. When I do, like, high madness level runs with my friends, because we do that sometimes as a group of 4, I often found that, especially because I would usually take Neglect duty, if we kill things fast and we're taking chip damage, I can't save, I can't heal people because I can't stack up sight charges. Whereas late game, it's basically a full heal. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Her starting item's just better than this. Yogger's Cleaver could be okay for Sylvie. It doesn't do anything to Ilmer, which is always annoying, but it's something. And yeah, just a bad habit I've always had is just realizing that you should always just take something when you don't have extensive resources if possible. Like even just 10 block at the start is better than nothing. And the amount of gold and stuff you get out of it isn't too relevant. But hi, Ilmer. She weakens Ilmer. I think it's cool that they have specific character interactions for this game and a lot of events. Some of them just allow you to bypass checks, which is always nice. But part of it as well is just seeing kind of the lore, and it's not something too game-breaking, right? Like, too weak and too slow is powerful, but it's not something that I'd feel like, okay, well, I couldn't beat this fight, or it'd be much harder without it. And I think that's important, is to add, like, those cool little interactions, but not make them necessary. Because you never want to hit a point where it feels necessary to do, like, take this character versus this. Because I think that's when runs start turning into, for roguelikes at least, into runs where you have to reroll. And rerolling runs is never fun in any game. Although, to be fair, I had to do that in Arknight's IS3, because at Surging Seas 15, you start out at 70 light. And if in the first 3 floors, you take, what is it, the half stats rejection, you're going to lose. Especially if it's on an early carry. But for so long, until actually a few days ago, when I was just in between classes working on it, I'd kind of put off finishing off my IS2 progress. Or IS3 progress, sorry, in Arknights. But I finally managed to complete it. I found some good strategies for it, and I kind of wish I'd done it on stream. It would have been fun. Because a lot of my early Surging Seas grinds on that game was on stream. But the big thing I found out with that game was, like, you have to do, well, you don't have to, but a really solid comp in that game is what they call 3 wolves, 1 uncle. Because it's Tex Alter, Posey, and Horn for the wolves. And then your uncle was Uncle Molinar. And then I found, like, you use Lumen, and maybe Ea Alter now as your healer if possible. If not, Talopsis still works, or Perfumer. And then you get, like, 1 or 2 other characters. But what I was doing was I was literally always starting with Gavial Alter. And it worked really well, surprisingly. I think I would take Chain Heal normally, I think, here. But an upgraded Panacea is really good. So then, what else can we do? I don't mind a Cloak of Evasion. I don't mind giving Reginald some max HP. Actually, nope. I forgot about that. I think this is really good. I'm dumb. I saw the regen symbol. It's the Ilmer's branch. That actually surprisingly really helped us when we were messing around with our first 2 runs on the save file. Because you wouldn't think about 1 extra regen basically echoes. You get 1 extra heal done for every healing spell Reginald puts out. And then an extra regen on top of that. So it's essentially +2 heal. I do wish after all this time, though, you could still get multiple, you know, multiple things in a given fight. We do this, this, and this. And then as for where we'll go next, I'm actually not sure. Because for this run, the entire purpose was to unlock Otis. And I mean, I could even pull up the... Let me pull this over. Not onto my main monitor, but... As far as characters go... Let's just go down the list, shall we? Heiner, you have to go to the core. We already missed it. Then Velkorath. Duels, we've seen the quest. Then to the Spider Cave. Cornelius, we had to talk to. A lot of these start in Synethia is the problem. We have Otis. Gruckly, you have to get the fish at the fishing lake contest, which we didn't because we messed around with the purple event. We have Sylvie. Wilbur says go into Velkorath and then Void, so I'm not going to worry about Void characters this early. Malika has to have the horn. Bree is Feyborg, then Void. Gustav is an Act 3 unlock. Okay. Let's look at pets real quick then. This won't be super helpful if we're not going duels, but I think we go Green Portal. And then we go to the spider cave again. We might not be able to beat the... Oh, we have a rare event here. The reason for this is we... Last time we failed the skill check to get into the cave. But if you don't fail that, you can get in there and... sorry, I'm losing my train of thought already. It's a lot easier to show it the map. I'll show it once we get out in the map. But let's take a quick look at cards we have access to. It's just very weird because so many of my strategies rely on cards that, like, I'm used to being available at this point. For example, on second plane, I believe, you can get a max dispel for healers. But because our town isn't upgraded, that's not available at this point, I don't believe. Oh yeah, it's not. Let's grab another Holy Smite. I'm a big fan of stacking Bless Charges on Reginald even early. Because if you have him just heal, it's not a significant amount of healing. Whereas with the Holy build, he's at least adding some DPS, while having a little bit of extra Bless Charges for heals when necessary. Because either way, you're not winning the long con in these games. Let's make Magnus's defense 0. We can make the fast strike 0 as well. This is just a setup for more like stockades and more expensive team defenses later. Quick shot I'm super down to make free. I don't think this is necessarily the way to go, but I'm very much a fan of making cards cost less, just because it gives you more opportunity cost to take more expensive cards later. It costs so much to reroll the shop, jeez. We could give her Corrupted. Oh! I didn't know that gave turn regen, that's really good. Corrupted versions of cards, though, are in general just really powerful, because they require double investment. It's interesting that there's 2 portals here. We're just going to go straight down. I will say, however, unlike how we were able to beat the dragon on our second run in the blue plane, I personally think that the hardest of the... I mean, it's tough to say, right? Because I've never done Sands of Ulamin boss at low... like with low resources like this. But I think the dragon's very doable. He stacks cold on you and that's danger, but as long as you have some way to remove cold stacks, it's not a huge issue. The problem I have with the Hydra is you need good AoE damage. And the Hydra still then will give you a lot of poison, a lot of other debuffs. I don't think... If I had to rate him, it's tough to say. Because it changes based on what's available to you. But I really do think that the Hydra is probably the hardest of the 4. When you're just getting started out. Especially since, like, you can't just murk them quickly. And a lot of the times different heads will taunt, which somewhat forces you to evenly disperse your damage. It's rough. Like, it is not a good time. I really do wonder, though. So the Sands boss, I have never fought without killing it in, like, 3 turns. Even on my farming runs, you know, I was in a position where it was not going to be a problem. But if you can't get rid of, like, the groupings of skeletons they summons immediately in that fight, I could imagine that fight being really tough, too. We haven't gone there yet, though, because eventually I do want to unlock Novalia and Leia. But both of them require you to go to Act 4 anyways, and I just don't think we'll do that early on without either Sanctify, Bless Comp, or Double Dark. I think otherwise it's just going to be a little too tough. But I'm focusing really heavily on some AoE block and AoE damage here when I can. Because I really don't feel like dying to the Hydra. What have we got? The problem with delivering this book is I believe he wants me to go upstream. And we are going down for certain, because I want to see if we can get the... I believe it's the Spider Familiar. The problem is we have to pass, I think, 2 skill checks, which is a problem. Yeah. Alright, so... as far as these go, I'm trying to remember what every option does, but I do know this gives me Merciful, yeah. Which is nice. Funnily enough, though, something I've realized with this game is, like, Slay the Spire. It's so tempting to get, like, a bunch of cards and get a really cool deck. But because of the cycle of boons and, like, your specific spells and stuff, a lot of the time the solution is not to overstuff your deck, but to focus really heavily on a specific strategy and tailor things towards it. I mean, some of the fastest ways people win in Slay the Spire, or sorry, the best ways at high difficulty, is to do like a 5-card infinite deck. Whereas when I was first starting out, I'd have decks with like 40 cards by the time I hit the end, and I could never cycle to what I needed. So, I find that interesting. And I don't know if every roguelike deck builder has a similar concept to that, but we'll see. Really, the only big roguelike deck builders I've played, though, are Slay the Spire, Across the Obelisk, and, Inscription, I guess, counts. Inscription's a bit of a weird one, though. I never did finish that game, and I kind of wish I had. I did a few streams on it, and it was fun, but it was one of those games that was very complicated, and it felt like it went on, and eventually I just struggled to keep going. Because it was like you first get out of the cabin, and then you have a ton of other stuff, and then you just realize there's more and more to that game. But it was cool because every single one of the modes they added was like unique. In the second map we went to after escaping the cabin, there was like the retro game style with the 4 different areas you could go to. That was awesome. I loved that. But we'll see. But already you can see the poison stacking is a little bit dangerous. Like if you get it out of let it get out of control. I don't know if this is the opinion everyone has, but my friend group and I personally hate the swamp area the most by far. Like, if we're not doing achievements or something when we're doing group runs or high difficulty runs, that is far and away going to be the last place we would choose to go. I don't know if we can kill this Scarab, but it probably doesn't hurt because these two are dead on turn. Give it a try. Oh, that's the random one. I maybe could have done more damage there, but that's unlucky. Oh, and we got a taunt. Luckily, the queen drew 2 AoE spells. This will do more. Yeah, we got it. Nice. And we do have the Scarab Pet, which makes these appear more often. So the more aggressive we can be, the better. No, Volley could be really good for Hydra Fight. I think Life Tap's good, as long as you're careful. The problem with Reginald's deck right now is... You know what? No, we have so many low-cost cards that I think we can afford to go for some more expensive kind of SOS-type situation things. Sylvie can get us through into this cave. I forgot about that. I think yesterday, I don't remember what the chance was, but I lost a really bad roll. So I believe we have to take our chances with the gap here. Okay, good. Then I believe we go here. And we open the Mysterious Cocoon. Defense cards. Do I want Sight and Bleed or Range card? I'm always a fan, like I say, of these character spam cards. And it would allow her to get a lot more off. The question is, how reliant am I on Bleed? Because we get 2 Bleed on hit with Sylvie. And I'd go up to 3 Bleed. I think we go with this. I like this one, and then we take this. But this is a new pet unlocked. It has to go to Reginald. But now, if we have the gold in the starting town, we can start with 4 pets, which is nice. Do I have a torch? Oh, okay, it just starts as burning. That's fine. We'll go double stockade. To be honest, once I get like more streamlined, when I run Magnus, I don't even give him attacks. It's kind of the same thing with Heiner, where the strategy is to continually sack block and have like 1 shield bash, maybe one of the high cost. I think it's shield throw, but then everything else is defenses. Because you don't need DPS out of your warrior if your warrior's doing their job of keeping everyone safe and your backline does enough damage. But sometimes you really do, like now, we need to squeeze damage out of both our frontline and our healer. Otherwise, we just are kind of lacking. I don't think I life tap here. You kind of run into this issue with Novelia as well, where you kind of have to decide at what point do you feel like you should be, you know, investing into life for energy and damage, and at what point will you be able to skate by and keep that sustained between fights. But I think Novelia is like one of the coolest characters in this game. Not just the like gameplay, but the lore. I am quite certain they'll probably she's not like an optimal character because Frost isn't very good and Dark is not good at High Ascension. But what's the point of video games if you can't play who you like, you know? It's kind of the words I live by in Genshin and Star Rail especially. Because I do not run super meta teams a lot of the time. Alright, what have we got? I don't mind the idea of battle plan, actually. And again, it lends itself to us being able to use really strong... Like, for example, if we got a Citadel, which is a high-cost, like, AoE defensive card, I could battle plan in an ideal world, get that extra energy, and place the Citadel on top of the deck. I'm fine with the Scavenge. To be honest, I am almost wondering if I should remove the Nightmares from her deck. Alright, here we go, Spider Queen. Shoot the cobwebs, please. 70% chance. Nice. I think we failed like an 85% chance last stream. My record's like 95. I was a little butthurt about it, but that's RNG for you. Alright. But this fight is definitely dangerous the longer it goes on, especially since I believe Reginald only has one dispel. He has two. That's not as bad. I still think the play is to get rid of the ads, because we just don't have the strength to burst down the queen. And to be fair, when I think about running Dark Comp early, I might be overrating it because we won't have as many Dark charges. But it's worth noting because the perks are universal. Not the character levels, but the perks. As far as those levels go, we've really been able to make that work pretty well. I'm so tempted to Ray of Frost. I think we Frost Nova, Icicle, Icicle, Eldritch Discharge. I think we can get away with Healing Rain here. Because 1 HP on them doesn't make a difference. This is still lethal to bleed. This is just 1 HP, but it lets me have a little bit more HP as well. I think we have Reginald's save energy, though. He was only missing 6 HP prior to poison. Sylvie isn't missing much. And that's another thing I've always been bad about, is not saving energy when I can. Go aggressive here. Up to 8 flesh charges, so those heals are going to be pretty poppin'. It's Ice Lance, and then probably Frostbolt, Frost Nova. So you can see how much more doable this run is with just the extra stuff we have. Our very first run died to this enemy, and it was not even close. We got clobbered. Whereas here, we're pretty comfortably able to do this. What do we got? Here's another fighter. Spider's dead to bleed, but I still have 2 characters' turns to go first. Oh, you go, little voidling. This guy, I think the only way you can make it corrupted is through a pet trainer. I don't think there's a way to do it just by finding it, as far as I know. But Riftclaw is nuts. Like, every turn just charging blocks, and I believe you can transfer at some point. It's crazy. Like, super high utility. But I will take it. This also means that we should be able to comfortably unlock duels when we go back through that event. Nothing really here I want. What equipment do we have here? Because they could be helpful for the Hydra. That's really good. When you apply that, a random hero gets extra max HP, and we're applying that every time we heal. So I maybe should give him some more healing. I'm willing to give this to her. It's less damage, right? Because this is all damage +1, whereas this is Shadow and Dark, which doesn't really affect her beyond the Nightmares. But when she casts a spell giving energy to my team, or sorry, more healing to my team, will be good. I'm really worried about the Hydra fight. As far as these go, here's Frost Guard. I think the most useful ones tend to be Black Guard for dark damage for Zek, and Blood Guard for Gruckly, so you don't die. As far as these other ones go, I actually think the 2 bleed per hit is more effective right now because she's not too heavily leaning into poison. We'll grab this because she can apply sight because of the talent we took. And then I think I'm willing to do... This is a lot of max HP and applying, and it slows enemies. I just am always hesitant to give Magnus less speed. We'll try it. Because it is imperative that Magnus goes before at least the majority of enemies. Here we go. This could be okay. But to be honest, I'll probably just ignore most Obelisk challenges early on in the save file. Just because I'm not confident in my ability to walk away from it. Alright, what have we got? Here, I mean, maybe I should be focusing on the back. A lot of times, I just kind of default into going front to back. Even when it's not the best plan. Because I feel like a lot of times your frontline DPS too. Like Magnus right now, I believe, can only hit frontline, the front tile. Whereas sometimes, though, you know, the more damage and then the healing comes from the back line. So, you know, it's debatable, but I'm also a very simple man. I don't always go for the crazy stuff. What have we got? Do this. It dispels the wet, which is a little bad. Block this, and then we'll hold the burst heal. I'm not sure with Reginald at what point you want to save focus heal, because it's free, but you're mandatorily going to have to use it on your next healing spell. However, if you don't use it, you have to wait an entire cycle, which could be several turns. Also, him being silenced is not great. Right, let's double barricade here. I mean, this is the one that's quite a bit faster. So taking out the front one could be good, because Magnus is at 19 speed. What have we got? Let's go AoE. This one's dead to poison if it doesn't get healed. I'm actually super tempted to finish it off here. That feels like an overcap waste. Let's do this. It's just interesting because this game really makes you think when you go back and you're doing things you didn't have to do for a long time. Yeah, I can't use anything except Dispel Magic. As far as Dispel goes... This is actually Dispel Silence. Oh, it does. Never mind. You'd think I'd have known that, but I completely forgot. We do this, we grab the Holy Smite, and then let's go ahead and Prayer of Healing. No reason to Healing Rain. That's one down. We can Battle Plan, sure. Put these at the top. Stockade now is good because this battle shouldn't last much longer. Pick one from your discard pile, put it on the top. I'm actually going to use this and pull a multi-shot. And then I can draw that multi-shot in AoE. And we don't have many sharp charges. Like, that's why I feel like maybe I shouldn't use her in the early game. And she's still a solid character. It just feels a little bad when I can't use the thing that I should have played this first. That she really excels at, and it makes me a little sad. But the amount of regen we're getting off the Reginald equipment combo is nuts. That's super helpful. The problem is the only way we can go for this combo in early runs is if we go through the Spider Queen. And I can think of a whole lot of things I'd rather do than go Spider Queen and Hydra over and over. But it is a very good defensive play. Let's see. A quick shot. That didn't take him out. That's awkward. But that's a pretty clean fight. We're going into Hydra pretty healthy. I'm actually... Take one more aggressive card on Magnus, because if anything's going to kill us against the Hydras, it's us taking the long con. Because again, out of 28 cards in Reginald's deck, only 2 are dispelled. Well, 3 are dispelled, including Panacea, but Panacea is a vanish card. And in his entire deck, 4 cards will vanish. So we're still going through a 24 card cycle to get back to those 2 dispels. As far as which head you're supposed to go in front of first, I actually have no idea. We'll just start with Hatred. I believe it just changes up the order of these heads. Luckily, because of the second plane boss, it's not like they're super high HP level. It would be harder if they were third plane boss, because it does scale with that, but you can see already, before anyone even moved, we took a huge chunk of damage. Luckily, we can do this to bypass AoE. This one's invulnerable, though. Let's do this, because we have her, Spider Queen Eye. I think maybe 2 of the heads are... Well, this one's invulnerable right now. I think this one's immune to poison. Alright. I'm going to place Stockade on top of the deck and Pommel. We'll see how this goes. The problem is Magnus is slower than 3 of the heads. Until we get some frost charges down, and that's what the Queen's good for. Is her slowing them down by relative, you know? Relativity can increase that speed differential. Which energy do we have? Let's do this, and then let's cast heal on... I hit the wrong number key. Oops. Luckily, I do not believe the Hydra heads regen. I'm pretty certain once one dies, it is gone. There are bosses in this game that can mess with you like that if you take too long. I am 99% certain this is not one of them. The longer the fight goes, as long as we're not suffering from like extended bleed and poison charges, the better things should get for us. As long as no one dies. I think it's still worth it to Stockade and Barricade here. Oh, the taunt faded off this enemy, so I can't quite finish it off. That is unfortunate. How much energy does she have? Okay. It's nice though, we're casting these spells giving regen. Like, we have a very solid regen-based build with many items here. I did not expect this to be the way we went. How much energy do I have? Okay. We flash here, Holy Smite, then we heal Magnus. Because he's also still applying some regen, even if it's not the crazy biggest heal. This is getting into dangerous territory, like... And it's crazy because I think we lost 2 characters, but we still comfortably beat the dragon on second plane on our second run. This is already not looking good. Because the invuln switches, so we have 2 heads that we're close to finishing off, but we can't quite close the deal on. I think we gotta keep grabbing multi-shots. We just keep applying as much damage as we can. But this is also, to be fair, why I prioritize Dispel so highly. Because you can just get caught up into situations like this, and there's almost nothing it feels like you can do. Luckily, this is where the life tap comes into play. Never mind, I was wrong. I thought... I'm dumb. I still think it was good to life tap there, but for some reason I thought I had the version that gives you 2 energy. This is big. This is real big, because... It stinks to miss out on a spell, but we just need to make it to the next town. If we get a Death's Door, we can remove it at the next town as well. So, on these plain boss fights, the important thing is just to win. Yeah, Magnus is going to be limping. So close. Okay. And I don't think this backhead is nearly as dangerous. Like, it's largely going to heal, right? Oh, please don't kill Sylvie. Okay, what have we got? Regal Cold, okay. See if the icicles land. I think, yeah, if I do this, then this, that's pretty solid. Okay. What Reginald needs to focus on is keeping these guys alive for another turn. Go to spells. And we'll go ahead and Healing Rain here. This should be the last turn this one gets before, at least ideally, before we end this fight, but if we do this, then this. Nice, okay. I'm surprised we got through that without someone dying, but to be honest, we would have lost someone given like one more turn. Isn't that not do much? Yeah, sure. What have we got for gear here? I'm a big fan of Sanctification. I just think that the combo we have with Reginald right here is too good defensively for us to give it up. I do think we probably give Titan Gauntlets to him, because it's not a speed deficit, and it's a huge chunk of HP, and he can't be disarmed, which isn't a huge issue in the case of Magnus. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. We give Magnus the max HP for here, and we give Sylvie the extra max HP. Reginald doesn't have a ring, so I guess we can just give him the 7% resistances, and then I think, yeah, we give her the Hydra Egg. Instead of her starting with 6 extra regen, she can give every turn everyone 2. And then we can find some more items to stack up some more max HP. We could potentially get a little further. As far as other singular unlocks, let me think. I'm gonna pull my page over here again, I should say. I don't believe there's... what other pets could be singular? Let's see. Stormy, you need to have the... I'm pretty sure you need to have... Oh, wait, Stormy's in the temple? I thought that was... Oh, that's the Harpy that's there. The Marsh, you have to buy slime bait. Yeah. Harpy. Get lucky and get the Obsidian Shipment event in Velkorath, or alternatively pick them up inside the Black Forge in the Red Zone. And then you have to deliver the ingots. Okay, so that's an Act 4. Oculi is... Nope, shouldn't be able to do that. Marsh, we're already through. Marsh. Hatch. The Fenneckins. In the yellow portal, look for the Fennec Enthusiast mode. Be able to purchase one for 400 gold. Okay, we'll try it. I think the Sands of Ulamin is the only area we haven't been in so far on this account, so let's see. I want to say that might actually be the event right there. As much as I do want to unlock these characters, though, you have to go to Act 4, and I do think it'll be a couple runs before we get there. What have we got here? Like, this is a point where, like, the Chalice of Kings would be a really good replacement for Reginald, but... At this point, I don't feel like I should. I think the most replaceable weapon is Magnus's, but I don't necessarily think Tesseract matters because my average card cost on Magnus is so low. Let's maybe reroll. Kind of regret rerolling. Maybe, I mean, this is probably fine. I just really feel like I should be squeezing out every upgrade I can. Upgrading currency retention is actually good before we actually end the run. Part of me wants to just save this golden shards for an actual deep run later on. Variety of items in Town Armory. Okay. And now we can go further on, which is nice. I believe you get these every time you beat a boss, I want to say, which is also why it's important to go as far as you can. You know what, let's just go, and we'll save that currency retention for our next run. What have we got? Thankfully, Magnus is faster once again. I'm going to do this and put my barricade on top. Was one of these, so that I have access to it next turn, so I can guarantee have more AoE block. She has 5 energy. I'm gonna Falcon Shot. Volley. I was considering scavenging, but she won't have enough energy. You can see how important it is just to be able to lead with high damage as well. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you can try and play super careful, but with the way statuses stack in this game, unless you are really on top of your dispels, the longer a fight goes, the more danger you're in. You know, like that's how a lot of the plain bosses get you, is they have something like the Frost Dragon stacks up a ton of cold stacks on you, or chill stacks, and then just out of nowhere, you get hit with the pro gamer move and it one-shots you. We take the dispel here. Dispel this here. The nice thing too is when we run, next run we'll run Otis Reginald comp, we will actually have multiple characters that can have dispels. Because it's in the healer deck. There are some like personal dispels like in the warrior cards, but generally speaking that's just the reliable way to go. I'm debating here. We'll try this. Interesting. Ideally we finish off the Fennec. It looks like we'll be able to. Nice. Don't need the ice barrier. I keep mentioning it, but I'm so satisfied with the amount of regen we have. I don't think I could have gone any other route this early on. I mean, this is the third run on the save file. That would have resulted in me having this much available regen or healing to me. You can still see, even with some of the blessed stacks, Reginald isn't healing that much. It's a respectable heal, but it's not anything to, you know, write home about. Shooting, poison dart, and multi-shot. The fact that multi-attacks proc stuff like this multiple times too is nuts. Very nice. So satisfying to keep, like, here's one of the spells I was talking about. Alright. I'm gonna do this, but I don't know if I'll be able to get this. Okay, I think it's this one. Very nice. I have messed this up. You actually have to look for specific ones on purpose to get all the injuries unlocked. I think I've messed that up twice in like probably like 100 runs, but every time it's super awkward. The matching game, however, I mess up all the time. Because I usually, on this one in particular, I just look for Bastet's Grace and try to follow one. But it moves so fast on the higher rewards tier that I've got old man eyes. This we can do. Because it just puts them back. This is literally just, when we don't have the ability to put specific cards back and kind of save them with more energy like we talked about, we can still just gain that extra inspiration for more energy. Still helpful. Alright, what have we got here? Okay, definitely a double Frost Nova turn. I really do think that even though Frost isn't a great strategy, the ability to manipulate speed is still nice. Like, it's not as powerful as a lot of other things in the game, for sure. But it's not that it does nothing. But I know a lot of people outright say that even over, like, dark late game, I've seen a lot of people say they think that Freeze is just, like, the worst thing to try and run. We save energy on Reginald here. But I know, like, as far as roles, too, part of the reason people really like, I believe the wizard's name is Wilbur, is because you can just spam, give other people energy, and then they can make use of it. You can see there are cards that cost, like, 8 or 9, you know, energy, that you're never going to use unless somehow you know it's upcoming, or you have other ways to save energy, whether that be by, you know, not spending energy or something else. Go. Go and life tap here. Oh, and we got the Frost Discharge. She's doing really good damage this early on. Like, I've been really surprised at how good Amelia has been for us so far this save file. I do honestly feel like, sadly, even though she's like the queen of Synethia, I wonder if we'll ever get the king. Little underwhelming. But to be fair, I don't know if any of the 4 current DLC characters are considered super meta for, like, high difficulty, because I don't do much high difficulty. I don't think... This is the Evade Scarab. I'm not sure that I have enough resources to do so, but we'll give it a good shot. Because you not only have to break the evade, you still have to do 80 damage. That's the evade broken. Do the most damage. 14, 8, 8. Do this and this. I need Reginald to draw holy spells. Oh, never mind. Apparently I don't. Sick. I forgot about the pet we picked up. We take that. Scarab bonus. An extra 200 golden shards and XP. That's nuts. I'm actually really liking the Scarab pet because we're seeing it so much more often. But I was unfortunately thinking that green event was the Fennec event. I was ironically looking for it. We can have Sylvie try and unlock the switch. Really? Oh, game. That hurts my feelings a little bit. Yeah, not the worst one we've even seen on this save file so far, but that's an oof. As far as where we can go, I'm trying to remember. I think the Scarab Wall might be where you... Trying to remember. It's just been such a long time. Unfortunately, I didn't think about this, but we're kind of reliant on Sylvie Bleed a little bit, as well as Sylvie Poison. I don't think these things can be yeah, they can't be bled. They're dead skeletons, it makes sense. We can still poison them, however, so that's good. In fact, we should Vigilance here because of her... Well, these two are immune to... Oh, okay. These are immune to bleed, these are immune to poison. That's fine. Sylvie does both. It'll just take some time. But overall, the goal of these runs is to get just a little bit farther each run until eventually you can beat the game, and then you can really start aggressively looking for all your unlocks. And to be honest, I feel like we're getting there reasonably fast. Like I was saying, first run got through like basically 1.5 planes, second one got through like 2 and I think like a third. This one we're getting close to the third boss. And it really does depend on what, you know, comp you're running, on what you're going to be able to get away with. Because at the end of the day, if you're running like a super heavy, you know, like burn-centric team, and then you run into Velkorath, you'll get burn-centric gear. You will also have a really bad time fighting the boss there. I need one of these to hit. Ah, dang. Here we'll... Let's actually take Quick Shot. They're attacking the Queen specifically, who also has the lowest HP. Oh, yeah, I just random heroed the Queen twice in a row. That's always unfortunate. Sometimes weird stuff just happens, because I do believe it is true random, but... I remember that happened once. I think my record with that when we were playing a 4-man was I got hit by a random, quote-unquote, ability. I think I have to heal. I think it was 5 times in a row. And it was just a true random enemy ability. It just hit me 1 in 4 or 5 times in a row. I have extraordinarily unfortunate luck. It's where my gamer tag came from. It's just sad. There's a Scarab. I don't think we can get that one, unfortunately. It'd be nice, but... Yeah, like... Does it have Zeal stacks? Interesting. Oh, this one just has higher max HP and starting armor. Yeah, usually the Scarabs have, like, some gimmick that makes them harder to kill. Which makes sense. They're free rewards, so if they're really easy to kill, it would be... kind of broken. This is where the flashes come in handy, though, like we were saying, because now I can invest that energy into this. And I still got the Holy Smite for Bless stacks. Alright. But I think one thing that's hilarious, though, that I think I should mention, because I've talked about how much faster I think the Dark Comp is, I beat the game on our first run yesterday with Dark Comp in, I think it was about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I've been streaming for about 1 hour and 5 so far today. And we're in the 3rd plane of 5. So these runs can be a bit of a slog. But we'll see. I think part of what'll be fun about slowly doing the second save file is that essentially I can just log on and do like, you know, it'd still be a decent length stream to hop on, do like 2 or 3 runs and move on, you know? Even some of the days I have class at night, like I consider streaming like 1 or 2 runs. Be pretty fun. Because this game genuinely is so much fun. Like, I know a lot of the games I stream, especially roguelikes in general, don't tend to be like super popular in terms of like viewership. Or a lot of the ones that are like Isaac have like a set like group of creators that are very, very highly watched. And this game is pretty old. Although they're still releasing DLC. The Queen DLC was pretty recent, but I figure the reason I'm streaming is just because I really think it's fun, and so that's what's nice about this. I talk about it a lot, but it's why I think it's fun when you're streaming casually. Okay, so we can break the wall to get the scarab. I believe this puts me in a fight. I do not recall, however, what the different scarabs do. Let's go for Jade. Yeah, you have to fight the black scarabs. Those are incredibly fast. I can't remember if it's this exact fight no matter what you do. But what I can tell you is if we hit 25 charges on Dark, it's going to be a bad time. I guess there's no reason to play the other stuff here because the block won't last till next turn. Luckily, it looks like they have 0 speed. So hopefully, Magnus can protect us from here on out. I'm such a fan of Frost Nova. And Arknights actually do too, as well as this. I think it just works out really well. Because it's just AoE cold and chill. So you can really work down enemies. I think we want to dispel the dark on these two because they're not going to like it. Sylvie's actually got a pretty big HP pool, but dark does so much damage to your heroes as well if it happens. I'm actually going to hold Battle Plan. I don't think we'll get back to another cycle with it, but eh. Sylvie got her injury. That's fine. As far as injuries go, I don't think Open Wound is the worst. In real life, it'd suck, but in this game, I don't think it's too detrimental. Because there are ones that cause you to like lose energy, get debuffed really hard. She just took a little bit of bleed. Alright, what do we got? Flash. Holy Schmite. Let's go ahead and stack some armor down. Nothing else is really necessary. That's 2 scarabs down. I do think I could be more aggressive with Magnus, though. The entire run, that's all I've been thinking, is I have so many 0 and 1 cost defenses that he's giving a decent amount of block, but especially in the fights where he's not the fastest, it just feels like his utility is so low. Very nice. Okay, we take that. What have we got? Sharpen would be good if I could get to the next plane and upgrade it so we could put it on Sylvie, but that's not really viable right now. I'm not really... I think Duels is the best one at using stealth build. Take a Winter Orb, and I'll take a Binding Heal because it's upgraded. Our next level, Valiant Defender. Ooh. That's tough. I usually really like Double Shot because you can get something like her multi-shot or volley off twice, and it's a huge amount of AoE damage. However, at this point in time, I think we go Hawkeye because every single hit she's applying 2 sight 1 bleed. So so she's getting double sight charges essentially with this, and applying extra bleed once this effect, and it lasts 24 uses. We could get a lot of mileage out of that. Maybe not on this fight if we die, but I like Rift Force here. And I think so. This is really nice because this is the safety net for a character, which could be good. I think Holy Crusader is good just because of what we're leaning towards, and the Sanctified charges on enemies still allow you to heal off that a little bit. I really couldn't tell you what's like super efficient though in this game. I'll tell you one thing, having characters that rely on bleed and poison going into this, oh, these ones aren't immune. Going into this plane is probably not efficient. I really think this is paying off with the sight, though. That sight card sometimes feels a little bad if you don't have something else to go with it. But the sight, bleed, and eventually the sharp builds for Sylvie both feel really good. Like, she's one of the characters like Magnus that I just underestimated really early on. And I couldn't really tell you why. Let's go front to back. Because for so long, my friends had talked up Heiner, and I'd seen the big clunk Heiner can do, that I thought surely this is the best defender. And then when I finally started doing higher ascensions on my own, I looked it up and everyone's like, yep, don't use Heiner no matter what. Which is kind of funny. There we go, we're about to chuck a ton of icicles at this front one. Get rid of all those extra block charges, and we'll have our ice barrier. She's a little low. We'll guard Amelia, actually, at this point. Do this. Maybe put too many defense in Magnus's deck. I was afraid with how our early runs went that Magnus would be very susceptible to, you know, dying. But so far it seems like we're keeping up with it, so I maybe didn't need as many of those. Oh, and that's the dark proc on the queen. And the queen's down. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, though. We didn't even really get a chance to react to those dark stacks. And she just had such low max HP that with the Scourge stacks, it was instantly fatal. I was hoping we'd at least... I did not think, admittedly, we would beat the boss of this plane. I was, however, hoping to get to the boss. But this is gone very south very fast, because the queen was the majority of our AoE damage. As long as Sylvie doesn't go down, though, I think we can make do. And if we draw, like, the talent cards some of these characters have, like, this could be good. I wish this one we could have gotten lethal on. Okay, that still works. That's one of the reasons why I think bleed feels better than poison. I think you can usually get more poison stacks, but especially since I think there's a card that like turns bleed into poison and multiplies it. The problem with that is it's just easier to rely on damage like bleed or burn that procs at the start of the turn, because then they don't get a chance to do something like that and get a ridiculous amount of health back. Yeah, if that procs, she's going to die. We need to kick this fight into gear. These two on the deck, we barricade and intercept here. Still a fair amount of regen. The evasion's really making things harder too. She does a good chunk of damage here. Oh, that's not good. I forgot about that. Fine, we'll figure something out. We do need to keep... It's just a chain effect, right? If Sylvie goes down, since we already lost our other damage dealer, we have very little damage. But if Magnus goes down, we have so much less protection for them. Maybe I should have healed Sylvie. She might have survived that. I think it would have been close. Yeah, I think we're pretty toast. This is one of the fights, though, that I could potentially redo and I think win if I'd focused a little better. Gotten a little bit better Dark RNG, because they focused the queen down real hard. But I think we've made ample progress, and I'd be pretty okay with calling it here. I want this one dead immediately. But it looks like our Everest so far is climbing past the third plane. Do this and try and get some... That's really unlucky. I wanted to get rid of the evade charge. What about... Oh, we drew honorable. Good. Well, we survived somehow. Thanks to our Reginald and regen. Don't see anything there I want. This is okay, but... The problem with relying on Dark is, again, even if you have just Zek or Malika, you're not going to proc it very often. And the only way Dark feels really good is if you're spam procking it. The problem with this node always is it's usually offered at like campsites, but so many of the healers themselves don't even just stock their cards full of healing spells. Alright, let's see what we can do here. This is pretty similar to the last fight we fought. Let's try and take out the mages if we can this time, eh? As always, Magnus can only attack the front fighter, but you know. Here's some quick AoE. Oh, that was a good starting opener. Every single one of those AoE, though, did count, so we got rid of 9 charges immediately. But if they die, doesn't matter. And to be fair, the, whatchamacallit, the, Death's Door, wherever it is, yeah, it doesn't matter if we don't draw it. So if you can blitz a fight, you know, it's just something you can work around. Yeah, if we don't have more max HP on Amelia, I think Dark Proc will just kill her. Focus down this middle mage here. Immune to Frost, so it's not going to take much damage because we can't stack the Frost debuff, but... Or sorry, the Ice Cold Resistance. Some of the names are similar but different. But I think it's still important to do. Right, yeah, we multi-shot. Do that. Keep applying discharges. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, a singular proc. That makes me think that a singular proc would also probably kill Reginald, especially since these Scourge procs do so much damage. Yeah, she has 165. She was near full, and that did that much damage. That's horrifying. Let's do this. We'll go ahead and Healing Rain. Maybe I should have tried to dispel Magnus's Dark, but I think Magnus can tank it. I do not think Sylvie can take too much more. Wolfguard Sylvie, I think. I wonder if Wolfguard stays. I would imagine if Magnus dies. But the other mage is down. Target shooting because this one has the most HP. Multi-shot kills these two on turn start. And this one's real close. If Reginald draws some holy spells, we're good. Okay, perfect. Admittedly, I was hoping for a little bit of healing as well, but we take a win. The problem is we are racking up the Death's Door cards on the Queen. I do like Demonic Tutor. Yeah, we'll try it. Might be the first Prismatic card, actually, that we've gotten. I'm tempted to try and rest. It's a 60% probability. The problem is we get speed bonus, which is helpful if we just rush it. And if we fail this check, then we're just up a creek, so... I don't really want to risk it. The high speed on this one only lasts for 1 turn when it does this. But I'm actually thinking this fight will probably be lethal. I mean, we almost died 2 fights ago to some of the random little gremlins, and they're immune to bleed, immune to poison, and this one's immune to paralyze. That's interesting. Hawkeye early is good. Hawkeye early is really good. Essentially, Sylvie, like that one fight, can apply poison to one, bleed to the other. The problem is, I believe this boss, if you don't kill it relatively soon after killing the skeletons, it does respawn its allies. And we really don't have the capability to deal with that. But we also don't have the ability to tear through 737 health immediately, so we'll see. I do think the answer is usually, though, just to deal with things as you can. I just don't think you can get away with leaving the ads open unless you can, like, 1 or 2 turn the boss itself. Luckily, none of them are immune to chill, so we should be able to ensure Magnus goes first. Unfortunately, Stock 8s are Vanish cards, though. The front one's immune to bleed, which is annoying as well for Magnus, so we'll save the energy. Dang, I wish I had the energy. Maybe I should... No, I think it's good to multi-shot and proc the statuses on everyone. I was considering doing a triple shot on the front one, but... Hmm. Let's try this. You're not terrible. 3 and 2. And this is one we're closest to killing. I'm going to Holy Smite. Get the Bless Charge. Focus Heal Prayer of Healing. Get that sweet, sweet regeneration. I can't even imagine how much earlier we would have died without the Reginald equipment combo we have. Don't proc Dark. Oh no, we need dispels like ASAP. All 3 of these people I think will die to a singular oh! Well, on the plus side, I was wrong, Sylvie didn't die. So, there's that. The question is, depending on armor, will the Queen and Reginald survive? The answer is probably... Alright, that's the run. I genuinely, like, again, with the ability to retry battles, I don't even think with better RNG we would get away with this fight. Because, I mean, you also consider Sylvie's starting hand was really good. Hawkeye plus a volley is... Oh! Hawkeye plus a volley is solid, but we take that. Furthest we've gotten a run, 3rd run. About an hour 20. Let's do 1 or 2 more runs. This is by far the most currency retention we've had, too. So we get back at it. So, I think we do this strategy, and we'll probably dedicate runs to unlocking Zek and Malika. I could be incorrect, but I do think if we can get those 2, we should be able to get Novelli at a 4th plane, and then we can run my main Dark team. And that should at least get us to endgame. As for who else to run, to be honest, I think almost everyone here is a decent option. Evelyn's a really good jack of all trades mage, whereas Amelia is more focused on the mind damage and the frost, which, again, helps Magnus keep above the curve. Yager is chonky. You stack that max HP, he takes a little bit to get going, and Sylvie is... I think we keep going with Sylvie. As far as perks go... Can we get Reginald more Bless stacks? We can get more holy damage, more healing done. He's not really applying Sanctify is the issue. And he can't access Bless, so here what we might do is give him more... No, it costs 3 points. Okay, that's fine. We get initial energy then, and we'll give him some... I'm curious someone's... Let's just go max HP. I'd have to imagine, as always with most of things like this, a little bit of resistances versus a little bit of max HP tends to favor resistances later, and the just flat HP earlier. As for Otis, Otis actually focuses on holy damage. I don't know if I'm going to have Otis focus on healing at all, actually. There's a good chance that we just have Otis go really heavily towards holy damage, and just take the healing Otis can give us. Because Otis is based really heavily on Sanctify. If that's the case, maybe we do this. Sure. Well, like, we'll leave some healing spells in the deck, but I don't think that's the focus there. Sylvie, we need... Sharp or Bleed would be good. I'd invest a little bit into Sharp. Piercing damage is good, Bleed is good. That ate up all the points, jeez. Magnus, ideally, we could get some more speed on. Yeah, we do this. I would have liked the initial energy as well, but... Actually, I can do this. Do this, yeah. Like, I just can't even begin to express how important it is that Magnus goes early. Alright, let's give it a go. As for who we unlock, let me pull this up. I forgot this was voice acted, though. That's cool. Alright, so between the two, Zek. You need to start in Senethiat main road, Grave on the Road, character-specific options, secondary event, the Eerie Chest. So we need to go to the grave on... We got the straw hat thing again. That's funny. Let's see, Grave on the Road. This, I believe, is for Asmodee. Where is Grave on the Road? Am I crazy? The nodes are always the same, it's just the event that changes. Starts in Synethia at the main road, grave on the road map node, depending on who the story is. Grave on the road. That's main road. Oh, it says at the main road, a grave on the node, road-specific node. I wonder what if it depends on rarity, if it's just always common. And then for... The problem is for Moloch, I have to go to the hatch, so I can't check this and then go see. Let's go... I'm honestly wondering if I shouldn't go duels. Because we won't use Zek or Malika until we have both. Might as well invest the time, I guess, now. So what can we do? Pets. Hurry up was... Gain 1 speed. That's pretty good. We have Scarabs, Rifty. Okay, we'll give Sylvie the Poisonous Bite. We'll give Otis Riftclaw. We'll give Reginald Scarabee. As far as other gear we can get, unless there's something good at the start, I probably won't. I think we can go for Spyglass, depending on if we stick with the sight build later on. The mixed salad actually isn't terrible. Right, it gives you transfer curses, dispels, and such. You never know when you're going to replace it. But we'll give it to Magnus for now. As far as other cards go, we grab Magnus, some Barricades. I think we went overkill in defense. I don't think we need more of those or Fast Strikes. A couple Intercepts could be nice. And I'm actually really tempted to grab a couple Sharpens and then give them to Sylvie, but I think we're going to hold off on that for now. Sylvie, we'll grab one of these. They were helpful later on. Maybe not early, but later on. I'm down for a Ricochet. A couple multi-shots and a couple deflects. Otis. I'm going to grab 2 dispels on Otis, actually, and then we're going to go for Sanctify spells. Shining Force works, Sacred Bolts work. Grab a Holy Ripple. Otis is going to be a lot more aggressive this run than Reginald is. Reginald, we just want Sanctify, which isn't super common in flashes. Most of the spells. As far as removing cards, this could work well with Sylvie in the future, but I'm going to get rid of these. And I think I'm going to drop a couple barriers. We just weren't using them. And that's partly me not making the most use of what we have. And then Otis, we're getting rid of some of the defensive spells. We want full-on just Holy Mage Otis. We'll keep a couple heals for sure, just in case, but not really the purpose of bringing him for. Sylvie's fine. I wasn't using camouflages super often because I don't usually do stealth build Sylvie, so let's get rid of one. And I think Magnus' starting deck is fine. Like I said, a lot of the time I'll get rid of his offensive cards, but I think right now we can definitely use the extra DPS. Make Magnus' cards free. Okay, what's some other important upgrades? Free flashes is also very helpful. I don't think we need to upgrade Dispel Magic to 3 Dispel this early. Sacred Bolt, I believe you can get... Yeah, you can make Sacred Bolt apply more. Sanctify. Sanctify works where you put stacks on enemies and then they take... whenever they take damage, you remove 1 charge, but you heal that much. So we can get healing off Reginald and Bless and healing off Otis and Sanctify application. Change these to Sanctify. Guess we make Sylvie's quick shots free. Yeah, that'll work. I think this is an okay way to go. So, point of this run, go defeat the demon, go get Malika. We're going to need 1,000 gold for the boat, I believe. Unless you pass a really hard run. A really hard roll check. Let's see. The popcorns. Yeah, I actually think the mixed salad is a pretty nice defensive play. It's not always necessary early on, but any extra safety in this game is something to use for sure. I wonder if you can make the vigilances free, because they're also innate. So this early on is not helpful. Once we get to this level, I think it'll be good. But the initial 2 innate vigilances might have been an issue. I could have held off on them. I didn't think about that. Yeah, alright, Otis. Your time to shine, quite literally. And luckily, outside of just natural immunities, because we're not doing random monsters or other modifiers, we don't really have to worry about... Ooh, that is an upgraded Sharpen. We'll take it. We don't really have to worry as much about that stuff. I mean, it doesn't hurt to give Otis Bless stacks, but I really... We'll take one. Try and snipe the Imp, sure. You got a 75% chance. Nice. And we don't even have to fight. Let's try and get the chest. That's another 75% check. The 0 scared me a little bit. Unlocked, burned item. Can you actually equip that? You can? That's funny. Nobody really does blunt damage, to be honest. I guess we could give some resistances to our tank. He'll usually take the Shield of Thorns, actually. Maybe we do this. Because I usually give him Shield of Thorns. We give the weapon at the end to Reginald, so... Don't want to invest too heavily in that. What do we got? Tomato. Yeah, I think this time around we'll maybe give Magnus a little bit more offensive power. I don't know what we'll invest into. It'll probably be Bleed. But I really felt like we did not make use of him as much because we kept running into fights where he was not the fastest character. But you can already see, too, with 2 Dispelled Magics on each of these two, even if they're not helpful now, the fact that we're seeing this frequently is a good, you know, testament to the fact that we're not going to get blasted later on and have no options. Because before it was just Reginald that could Dispel. And, you know, we could have maybe beaten the sand area if we could have kept up with those charges. I'm even going to take a third one, frankly, for Reginald. So the problem with this is, we can either jump down and probably Otis, I'll get an injury, or we can jump down as a safer way, but we might fail and not be able to do the unlock we're trying to, so I'm just going to risk it. We're probably going to get some injuries here, though. Yeah, Otis took an injury. That's fine. It's just too vulnerable. We can remove that. I don't want to risk not, because if we'd rolled that trying to get into the hatch, I don't think we would have gotten in. And then you just outright can't do it. Just charge ahead. With how low my win rate is, though, or success rate is on like 70+% checks, I really don't mess with chances less than like 30% that aren't likely to pass. Like, we could have gone for the 6% chance for Otis to draw a defense. But it probably would have backfired, so, you know. Yeah, these are going to be annoying. We're in it for the long haul with the vigilances and a few other things. And I think we'll really start to scale on third plane. You can also see the Sanctify, like just attacking this one, right? Would be 9 healing, although he's already at full health. That's pretty helpful. Actually, I could have Healing Rain there to take off the fire damage off Magnus. It doesn't really matter, but it's 3 damage. Thanks. I think we should still fight Yager to get Yager's Cleaver for Sylvie. Let's actually grab a Shield Bash. Not seeing anything else here I want. I do want AoE heals again on Reginald. I'm trying to remember what you can do. So this pit, if you have Malika, she can get a really powerful buff. Because Malika has a bypass event where she can get, I believe it's Dark Miasma. However, if anyone else looks, you take a injury. And you can also throw a pig down there, I think, if you tied him up at the start. So let's go up. I can't remember what the top one does, because I run Dark Comps so much that I usually just grab Dark Miasma. Really goes to show how actually detrimental it's been to me to get super stuck in my specific patterns, because I don't know how to do anything else. Let's use... Sure. It's a little disappointing that the site doesn't do like anything until we get more effects with it, but I know it'll scale well. It's a lot of fire. Through the broken bone, that's fine. Holy smite. See just that little bit of healing coming back into play. We'll throw up a barrier as well. I don't... Yeah, we could dispel actually. Do that. It really might seem like overkill, but genuinely, towards the end or even mid of these runs, things just get so bad. Like, you really just... You don't have dispels. This game hits you with just the one shot. I'm scared because I really want to go Sands of Ulam, and there's so much cool stuff there, especially once you can get Novalia and Leia, because you can get, like, the cube pets and such. And you can get Bastet's Grace pretty consistently in that realm. I just think I'm gonna die. I'd love to go for... This is an upgraded Sharp card, but... I wonder. We'll take one more. This one's Self for now, but it's not a hard upgrade to get. Smash the statue or inspect the statue. Well, it's a higher chance to smash it. Okay. Oh, I've actually never seen this fight. Interesting. It doesn't unlock anything, but... Well, that you can't unlock, I think, through other means, but... I don't think I've ever seen this. I wonder if I don't kill the imp, if it does... Yeah, summon Fire Imp. Interesting, so we need to focus on... Probably Sylvie being able to do her job. Shouldn't be too bad, especially since Otis and Reginald both have holy spells. Yeah! That wasn't hurt at all. Yeah, I've never seen that before, though. I've never failed that check. Some sharp stacks. Let's try some sharp stacking. We're definitely going to rely on bleed and sight still, but I do know that's a very strong strategy. And that'll allow us to be a little more versatile with what she picks up, because last time we were really avoiding things like the ice shot. The problem is, without a ton of application, it's why people run Sylvia and Gustav a lot together. It's really difficult to keep up with continually stacking up sharp charges. So, I believe we have to... Oh, crud. I forgot about this. We have to pass this check and summon Bellifor to kill Bellifor, otherwise we can't. And it's a 36% chance. Crud. I completely... That's... Oh. I think the people... So, I think the only person that can bypass that check is Cornelius. I think... Well, Cornelius and I think Malika can, but you have to get Malika by defeating the demon. So we could kind of throw our head at the wall in future runs and try and grab Malika, or we could go for Cornelius. I completely forgot about that. That's frustrating. In that case, I think we do an about face and we look for duels, because we're still on the path to be able to do that. Yeah, I completely forgot about that, because I almost always bring Malika. And when I don't have Malika, I usually don't come down here. It's interesting. Because it's like, once you get to a certain point, unless you're going for specific unlocks, like, you hit this point in this game where you have specific paths for different characters. But like I said on our first run yesterday, I almost always think, unless you're going for something, you should go for Dark Comp, you should go to the Blue Portal second. Because in the Blue Portal, you can go to the sewers and get both the Black Deck from killing the Rat King, but also the bar event because Zack unlocks the sewers by default. So, crazy stuff. But we've already bypassed the main road encounter as well to even go for Zack. So it's probably a duels run. That makes me think maybe we should just go get Cornelius as well. It's not like super helpful because I don't mind Cornelius, I just don't like running him. Oh, for some reason I thought that was the one that he could put on her. It says self, I'm just missed out on it. Not too bad. What do we got? That's tempting. No, we said we'd give him some attacks. We'll try it. I'm not gonna try and invest too much in poison. I think putting your eggs in too many baskets in this game is also bad. Oh, wait, no, it does. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm just dumb. I was really sad for a second there. Wolf guard, target shooting, praise the sun, and focus heal. We'll still grab focus heal. Alright, Belly 4, I need your horn so I can give it to a witch doctor. No hard feelings, eh? I'm just protecting Otis a little bit more right now because he has the lowest max HP. Not really for any particular reason other than that. Let's actually save some Silva energy. Because he's gonna summon two imps here. And if we can insta-gimp him, it would be good. Which energy have 5? At least one will go down. Yep. Flash, flash. There's nothing to dispel. As with all deck builder too, draw luck can heavily influence what happens. Throw up a barricade. Defense. I don't mind an expensive intercept, but part of what I think makes intercept good is that it's a quick, free, you know, protection. Here we double rapid fire because it was always going to be one hit kills the imp. Alright, Belly 4, what you got? Not too bad. Throwing the firebrand stinks a little though. Alright, because it lowers the number of cards you draw as well. Holy Smite. Let's dispel Otis. This fight shouldn't be dangerous at all. Already I feel like as long as I don't do something really stupid, I shouldn't die on the first plane. There we go. Alright, we got Falcon Shot. Cards like Falcon Shot I always forget to use first as well, and it's really important too. Summons 2 more, but... Oh, it didn't summon. That did, however, chunk. It'll be quite hard. Let's play things a little more defensively for her. Although Belly 4 is faster, so maybe I should be aggressive. Yeah, I think I misplayed there, actually. If I'd used one more aggressive spell on Otis, he would have gotten one less turn. I still think overall we're going pretty health positive, which is nice. Except on Magnus, but... not a huge deal. Okay, yeah. Everyone except Magnus went health positive because we messed that up. So we take it. Another sharpen, no. You know what, sure. That doesn't sound too bad. I'm gonna pass on that. I do think 4 dispels might be a little overkill, though. What have we got? Evade is pretty good. Grab it for you, maybe. Grab a resistance ring. Max HP resistances, and then... even if I'm gonna replace it, I guess I could take this. Some gear is better than no gear, you know? Even to get a little money, I think it's still meaningful. Oh, we can't go to the tools. No, that's awkward. I don't really see a reason to go to the portal. What I could do is do this. Go up here. Go hide your second plane, give the horn to Malika. And then try and get Heiner as well. I'm not going to use this. I believe if things go right, we can get both of them. I do think we should still fight Yager, though. Yeah, in an ideal situation, we should be able to get 2 characters here. But I do have to fight Spider sub-boss again. I do have to fight Hydra. And then I believe I also have to fight the, ooh. The Mine sub-boss might kill me. Part of the reason why I do like Dark is even if the endgame is heavily resistant to Dark, unless you're getting like the random enemy debuff where different enemies have like a random immunity, very few enemies are naturally immune to Dark. So you'll always be able to Dark stack on them, it just might not do as much damage. Whereas if you're doing like a Burning build or, you know, Poison or Bleed, you will run into enemies all the time, depending on where you go, that just say, hey, sucks to suck. Oh. That rogue decided it did not like Reginald. Yeah, we have some cards that are going to be upgraded for utility. Especially if we're going to Swamp, I would like to upgrade as many of my Dispels as I can. So they Dispel 3 instead of 2. I wonder if I'll have Mass Dispel available to me. Okay, we'll take shards. Use me as bait. Yeah, Magnus gives us speed because apparently he just annoys Yager, because Yager doesn't like... I mean, Yager stabbed him in the eye, like... When Yager's the one in a bad mood. I actually think maybe we should save our energy on Sylvie. There's the multi-shots. Let's save our energy and try and kill the Sharpshooter and the Shaman. That's a lot of armor. I think Shaman's top priority. I mean, any enemy that can heal is obnoxious. Yeah, my Holy Light combo is working pretty well. It sounds like such a meme to run 2 healers, even run these 2 and Leia, who is also half healer. But like, if nobody dies, you theoretically won't lose unless you get stacked on with statuses. But if you have 3 people or 2 people that can dispel with healer cards, that won't happen either. So, you know, we'll see. I still think we probably won't pass the 3rd floor boss, but we'll see. The scaling on the 3rd floor is just really tough early, let alone the floors later. Like, even if we were to beat the 3rd floor, I don't think we'd get much further. Alright, Reginald, Holy Smite. Very nice. I think we do this, this, and... Magnus is still faster than Yager. We should maybe dispel some of the status then. It's not like anyone has high bleed stats here. Yeah, we should barricade. I was tempted to rend, but I don't believe Yager resummons more allies once they're down. And with Sylvia and all our stored up energy here, we can... Yeah, this is more damage. It's 8 3 times versus 11 twice. But if you're running anyone with bleed, though, I think it's always good to fight Yager for the cleaver. It's not too much, but it is still, you know, bleed application. I feel like this always happens with Praise the Sun, where you spend 1 energy, and then damage per hit in that effect for 1 turn, and you don't really use it. Which is a bit disappointing, but... Here we go. Hopefully Sylvie can finish this turn. Very nice. No, it keeps wanting to offer me expensive. Whatchamacallit? Intercept, which I feel like, again, the entire point of Intercept is it's a cheap defense. We grab this. 100% success in single character event rolls, huh? I wonder if that only applies to that character, though, is the problem. We'll try it. Oh, I could have gotten... What does every turn applies one? Dang, that would have been so good for Corrupted, but I think we need to give Yager's Cleaver to Sylvie. Sure, we'll give that to you. Why not? And then, I mean, we'll give this to him, but we'll get rid of it immediately. Because we're gonna... I think the Shield of Thorns on anybody that's stacking defenses is usually the way to go. I'm trying to figure out, though, ordinarily on that map where I pointed out between this fight and the Augur fight, you can get a wolf encounter companion, and if you already have it, then you can sometimes get the corrupted version. But I don't know if you have to unlock the wolf in some way before that, or if it just does still somewhat randomly appear. Worth noting that only the Dryad here can be bled. But we're not super reliant on bleed, to be honest, at this point, so... Not too bad. Good Praise the Sun roll for Otis. Getting it early is definitely... It feels more helpful a lot of the time than getting it later. Because you hit a point where you only get 3 energy without outside influence or saving per turn. And Praise the Sun already costs 1. Whereas with the starting initial energy, that first turn can really be pretty bombastic. We do this. The broccoli is... I mean, the food thing's funny, but there's a high chance we get rid of it for something better, if we find something better for Magnus. The quick spam shots. Shot and we'll camouflage as well. Very nice. Holy smite, flash. We're basically just like 3 knights/crusaders and a random like elf archer. Pretty funny adventuring party. I don't know. Do I need to... I almost feel like it's a waste to use Wolfguard at this point. I mean, I guess we can play everything in our hand, but... That's one of those cards that when you're about to end a fight, it's not really going to do anything. And I put it on the person with stealth, so she's not really going to get hit. Those sharp charges are nice, though. What have we got? No. This is the card I was talking about. I think when upgraded, it does, yeah, bleed into poison 1.5, and then there's cards that, like, triple poison. I will take a Divine Insight. I'll take an upgraded Pain Suppression. These are at least some chonky holy spells they probably won't get to use, but if they do, they'll be helpful. As always, we give the Yomer Branch to you. We'll give Shield of Thorns to Magnus. And I think I'm gonna use this and this. Maybe I should have gotten rid of the Spyglass, but we definitely go green first. I think it's higher priority to get double Dark Comp here than it is to get... Oh, this is the event I was talking about. So for a long... This is how you get Merciless in the Naga event. Where is it? This one, and for some reason everyone said online that it was an event down here. And maybe you can, but I'll tell you right now, I got it right here. We need to save 1,000 gold, I believe it is, for the Pier here. So, ooh. Let's we buy this and then hold. He's not like as spell reliant, right, as the Queen was. Because basically everything the Queen had was. But a majority of them are holy spells, so. Let's see. We only remove that curse. Let's get some upgrades done. First off, we should upgrade that sharpen that we kept seeing. Wherever it is, so that it can be used on Sylvie. What else have we got? Flash to free. Might sure. I'm actually super down to make Otis's heals cheaper. And they will burn out, but then Otis will be cycling really fast to damage. We're going to upgrade all our Dispels because of how prevalent Poison is here. Upgrading Holy Smite here, no matter what, doesn't increase Bless charges. It just applies Sanctify. What has Sylvie got? Yep. Do that. Flex, huh? We'll do 1 reasonable and 1 not. We could upgrade Magnus's Rens. So we can either make it cheaper and still only target front monster, or same cost and do more. Let's do same cost and do more, especially since a lot of Magnus's... Once Magnus gets his defense talent, he won't be using as much energy. I think we upgrade these rapid fires, and that's about all we can do. Let's save the gold. I could reroll for some other stuff, but I want to make sure we have enough for the boat. I'm pretty sure it's 1,000, but I don't remember. It is a bit of a bummer, though, that I can't do our, I think it was an armor piece that we get from the Spider Queen. Unless we got the portal. You can get a portal so that you can go from top to bottom right in front of the cave. But I don't remember how reliable that is. Let's try Ricochet. That messed that mosquito up pretty good. Yeah, mosquito's dead. To bleed, even if we do, ironically, to bleed. Even if we don't do anything else. Do this and this. Not the best starting hand for good old Reginald. Part of the reason why I feel like healers you almost sometimes want to be slower. Because while it does affect following rounds, that first round you just... What are you gonna do? Save energy? Does that not work the way... I thought it says transfer curses, but I keep noticing it just makes the curse charge go higher. Oh well. Alright, these two are dead. This is dead at end of turn, though, which is worth noting. You can just do that. Rapid fire the back turn. Because this is the only... Unless it can heal. I don't think this one can heal. It can self-heal. Okay. If I praise the sun, I can only use one spell. Oh, but it'll chain twice. Let's do this. That worked pretty well. We dispel self. We'll just top everyone up. Leaving a fight with max HP, can it be? It sure can. We'll take that. You know what? I'm taking another attack on Magnus. Holy Storm would have been perfect for Otis. I just don't think I should grab it on Reginald, so I don't unbalance Reginald's deck, because Reginald already has a small proportion of healing spells. In reality, I think we have more healing off Otis's Sanctify right now. Yeah, it's 1,000. Yeah, 8 or higher. I think there is an achievement for this. Maybe it's a Steam achievement for beating them on this, but you literally, what I did was I bought every expensive card, struggled through the first plane, and then just did this roll and then left. So obnoxious. I think the mosquitoes are easier to kill than these things. Double sharpen up Sylvie. Hopefully Sylvie draws an AoE card then, because Magnus just buffed her up pretty heavily. Not the worst. Yeah, see? Then that's with only 4 sharp charges. That's nuts. Imagine if we had more. The problem is you lose one a turn. And it's kind of hard to keep up with it, because there's so few cards that affect Sharpen, but a lot of them are in the Scout deck, or the Warrior one specifically, that we gave 2 to Magnus for. I feel like those are generally the primary fights. Let's just do this. Good opener. Don't think we... I mean, it's a good habit to dispel. Oh, a Scarab. Interesting. Let's see if we can get this Scarab for some free stuff. It's looking like... Oh, yeah. Oh, I should Falcon Shot first. I always forget about that. This 35 bleed. Jeez. Oh! List of things I forgot could happen. That right there. That is unfortunate. We dispel this slow here. Yeah, I completely forgot that. You know what? We'll Pain Suppression Sylvie. Good luck trying to chip away at her. Especially if Magnus draws some defense. I did it again. That slow didn't affect anything, so I should probably save it. Although in a short fight like this, it might not matter. It's a really bad habit to use debuffs like slow if it doesn't change the turn order. Because in this game, speed can change so rapidly depending on what happens that you might want it on a turn where it actually would change things, or you might want it out of the cycle of things. Ooh, they're hitting Reginald pretty hard. Do this and we'll... Well, with Sanctify, yeah, we can just do that. Nice. Right, Shaman's dead. I think this is a shot. Swamp Horror, apparently. Nice, that thing's dead at the end of its turn. Unless Sylvie has something to say about it. What just cursed Sylvie? Oh, okay. Let's say, do I ricochet? I think I ricochet. That worked out really well. Didn't even hit the Swamp Horror who was dead. Stealth is obnoxious. I mean, at that point, we just do this. I don't have a whole lot of AoE right now. Which is, you know, not good, given the boss we're about to fight. But, you know, we'll figure something out. I shouldn't have even done that, actually, Magnus. Yeah, round end. Oh, monsters. The stealth really, I feel like most of the time, sometimes it affects you by not being... Hey, we have a random monster rapid fire still. That's hilarious. We wouldn't have been able to finish it on that turn. Not for that. We should grab the stockade. Big quiver. This is a no. This is probably a no. The Anthem of Hope could have been cool. Here you go. You want the horn? Perfect. She gives us some stuff. I think this is what she starts with. But some of this stuff is probably worth grabbing. Scroll of Resurrection could actually be good for Magnus with what's been happening. A potion every turn dispelling one, though, I'm going to give that to Magnus. Magnus hasn't been dying per se, but that allows us to focus our healing on the mid lane to begin with. We'll give Sylvie every 2 turns dispel 2. Maybe we'll give that to Reginald, actually. Mana every 2 turns could go to Otis, and then we'll give the ring to her. Some pretty solid gear. And we unlocked Malika. So next will be Zek. I think, what time is it? 8:45? Maybe we'll do one more run. It depends on how long this... We can do it, actually. Nice. We can... I didn't see it before, but the exact teleport I was talking about was available to us here. I'm trying to remember which one of these summons something, because I'm pretty sure one of them does. But we just have to defeat these and we can go down to the cave, which is quite nice. I wonder how close we are to leveling up. I feel like we should be pretty close given where we are in the plane. But it's always good to fight mini-bosses too for the extra town supplies, given our current situation. This is a good opening hand for Otis. Whenever you get Praise the Sun, I think it's nice to have Holy Spell spam. Just because it's on hit. We'll focus the backline here. I think that's the correct play. Yep, it is the one that summons. I mean, it looks like it's the one that summons too, but you never know for certain sometimes. Well, sure, go for it, Magnus. I mean, it's a 4-cost spell, or attack. You'd better hope that does some good damage. I do feel like our Magnus, compared to last run, did end up being more aggressive. We just... also don't have many defenses. 1-cost Ricochet is good at the top of our next deck. We multi-shot. We'll let her camouflage dude for safety. Funny when you bring like the mini-me along to fight him. I thought there was something you had to do to unlock the Riftling, but yeah, I was just wrong. Goes to show that sometimes getting into a game late or like coming back to for a long time gives you a benefit. Because the fresh save file, when I first started playing this game without DLCs, you did not have this stuff. I guess you do have the bunny, which I forgot about because I've never used it, but other than that, get a Magnus. It's interesting because when you have like multiple characters that apply bleed, for example, it makes that status more effective. It just also hurts you more. when an enemy is resistant or immune to it. I'm a little underwhelmed by the ricochets. I kind of just prefer raw AoE, but I thought the application could be good on Hydra heads. Unfortunately, I can't use that. Who should we dispel? Probably Magnus. And dispel this and this. In an ideal world, we'd probably save finishing off this enemy until Magnus or the healer's turns. Because we have enough block that no one else should take damage if we could heal up Magnus, but I keep forgetting when I'm waving my hand around it does that, but let's just finish the fight off. Yeah, our performance bonus hasn't been great either, and that does affect how much you get as well. Keep the quiver again. I will take a benediction. I don't think we've seen an AoE spell for Reginald here, which is a little... Oh, I forgot you get this stuff too, jeez. Eldritch Sword is good for the Queen, but not really, I feel like anyone else. I'll give the Ring of Protection to Magnus. Every time he's played a spell, gain 2 powerful, 1 buffer. That's probably... well... Dimensional Crystal is Mirror of Cassandra, but only on the first spell per combat. Which would be really good. I think the play is to give this to you, this to him, and to be honest, I don't think I give any of these to Sylvie. Let's move down here. Sylvie can get us into the cave. We don't need to go for the spiders anymore. So let's just do this. No. Defense card's cheaper, Sight and Bleed, Sanctify Burn, and Holy Smite. Should be a pretty hefty pickup in our DPS. Grab this, defend, intercept, and defend. Why did we start poisoned? Or did one of them use an attack already? Multi-shot. I believe this enemy is the one we should focus. One thing I gotta say about this game too that's so helpful is turning on auto end. Makes this game so much smoother. It's basically just whenever something isn't playable, it'll end your turn for you. And it's not like it's ever like an issue because it will only do so when you can't choose anything, so you don't just sit there and wait for a long time for no reason. That one's dead. Yeah, see, like we can open up real hard with Dimensional Crystal for Reginald. And then Reginald can kind of fall back to the healer role. Oh yeah, and it's good we didn't give Reginald the armor because we're fighting Spider Queen for that. It's all this obvious stuff that I just don't even think about, and I'm like, oh, sick. It worked out, and I wasn't paying attention. Alright, what have we got? Shield charges. I just don't think about that much. Discover 3, place 1 into your hand. Cost reduced by 1. Short, because defense reduced by 1, I believe. Poison Callus, that's really good for duels. We already have 2 ammunitions. Not enough for that. Do I have a Panacea already? I don't. It doesn't hurt. Alright, let's go. I am not a fan of this stupid poison thing. Alright, let's sharpen up Sylvie and see what she draws. Okay, that's double AoE. We take that. Yeah, look at that already. Like, that's nuts. Especially against monsters that don't have sustain. Like, being able to open up like that with fast characters, just quick block, quick damage, it's just so helpful. Try and get rid of this slime before it poisons a bunch of people, too. Let's dispel this on Magnus. We don't want Magnus going that late. That ball and chain just pretty much guarantees you go last. Which again, I don't think is a huge issue for anyone except Magnus, but it's not great if it happens to him. Okay, we got these three are all dead, so I think we still AoE though. Don't summon something, please. Okay, good. I'm pretty sure those are the ones that summon, but I just never remember. And that's lethal, so let's top everyone up. Dispel his poison so he doesn't take damage at the end of the turn. Once again, dispel poison. Want 3 HP back, Sylvie? Here you go. Oh, and he can finish the fight. Look at our Crusader duo. They work so well together. And they really don't scale poorly. No. Ooh. Yeah, sure. I don't know how often she'll get to use this, but that could be real good. Would have loved to see that on Reginald, and I would have loved to see this on Otis. As it is, I think we pass. It's not that it's not somewhat interchangeable, I just don't want it. Let's go down here. Surely, right? Magnus is the one with the lowest chance here, and it's 54. Really? Original was, I guess, only 64. It's only a little bit of poison. That's fine. Funnily enough, last time she had a 65 chance. Let's still try and shoot the cobwebs. Nice, okay. Yeah, there are some injuries that are much more detrimental than a little bit of bleed or a little bit of poison. Like, there are some that just... You get that, and it's terrible for, like... And the effects last, basically, for, like, 2-3 turns. Or at least you feel the effects for a few turns. Ammunition, let's draw... You won't have stealth. Drop that. One less cost on a rapid-fire shot. But, as we've seen, this boss is... Like, this mini-boss is less about, I feel like, lowering resistances and blasting you, and more just applying poison in mind. I mean, the mind, I guess, does reduce resistances, but, you know. Holy Ripple here and see where it bounces to. Good. Spell Reginald for now. We dispel this. We flash for Holy Smite. I keep forgetting, too, that I have this. It's the same thing as with Mirror of Cassandra. You really should play around them, and then I forget I have them, and I kick myself every time. But that item, all the ones we saw in the Rift are new items with, like, the last DLC, and they're all so good. Actually, double barricade and hold. Sever already would have been good one turn later. We didn't even use the cheaper rapid fire because it was random monster, but... You know, as for pets, I was actually thinking about getting the sheep today, but then we didn't get the path or event to get it. Because that's one that you can do just on Synethia. What have we got? We dispel Sylvie for sure. And we hit him with the Holy Smites. They're not too shabby. The Corrupted Blade Dance has been pretty clutch too. It's a good card. No, she dispelled herself a little bit, but she didn't dispel the thing that was doing the most damage. Oh. Oh, it's a taunt. I mean, she's dead to bleed instantly. Or this. Never mind. Guess we could get some healing off. Very nice. I mean, it's crazy, right? This is what, our 4th run on this account, and our first one died handily to that fight. This one, it wasn't even in danger. It feels good. Holy Blast would be really good if I had better Bless stacking on Reginald. We'll try it. It is a Vanish card, so it's not like it'll hurt us too bad. We may just end up using it once for a tiny bit of damage. But here we go, the Spider Queen Eye for Sylvie. Real good. This armor for him. As far as the other ones, for every Sanctify charge, apply Bleed. That's good. That's extra Bleed charges. As far as Magnus goes, I don't know if there's anything here. I'd much prefer the Dispels every turn. I don't know how much the Thorns is realistically doing, but... yeah. This could have also been really cool on Sylvie because of Yager's Cleaver and her Bleed, but... I'm pretty satisfied with this. This is a good route to go for the team comp we're running. It's just not really the team comp I'm working towards. It's funny, because, like, Sylvie isn't even the Queen of Bleed. That's Gruckly. But Gruckly does not work very well if you don't have Blood Guard. Well, it does, but you really end up playing on the edge, because Gruckly just... We saw this when we did the weekly challenge. It's so easy for Gruckly to apply a ton of bleed to himself through Fury and just die. Now, because of what we have, it's worth using these sights that we innate. So it's those sights that we picked up now, because of what we got, is just an innate quick AoE bleed slash sight, you know? Or is it poison? It's poison. Still helpful. Alright, let's take out the back line this time. Which energies have 2? Yeah, we should do this then. What do we got? Because we have this, let's not forget. Bunch of holy smites. The back line's not having a good time this run. He has 5 bless charges. I guess we could dispel this and focus heal up. The starting extra energy we unlocked in the tree has actually been really nice for us. Even if it's only on entrance to battle, the first turn in battle means a lot in this game. Okay. Good. Unfortunately, 2 of them are faster than Magnus for that turn, so it's not super helpful, but not too much of a problem. Target shoot this one. This is the one I want dead. Multi-shot, then let's... Look at all the buffs this thing has. I mean, this is a debuff from us, but still. Alright, so this would do 16, 12... Yeah, not like the most damage, but I could see how it'd be helpful. Because now it's probably more, right? Nope, I was wrong. Okay. At some point, though, with Bless stacking, that's going to be huge. Maybe just not now. What do we got? I think we Ripple. Yeah, because now that's dead on starter turn. I was hoping for that. And then let's, just dispel stuff. A lot of these aren't, like, super bad debuffs, but it's still nice to get rid of them. Skirmish is down. I'd love to take out this Scarab, depending. Okay, we did get targeted shots. This would do 4, this would do 6 3 times. Okay. Hopefully our holy mages here can do enough. They can buff the stupid Scarab? I didn't know that. How? The mine resist going down. Alright, well, it's up to you, Otis. Hopefully you can take out that Scarab. I'd really like some free stuff. Woman is good. How much energy do you have? I think we just rely on the chain then. Yeah, that's lethal. Okay. Nice. Free stuff. Always the best. Alright, we're going to the Hydra health, fight pretty healthy. Yeah, 150 per hero, that's so much money. I'm going to take another shield stance, because the talent he has with defenses, none of these look too good. Tabula Rasa is funny. It's just a funny meme to me, because it's really bad for characters like Yager, and I have a friend who loves playing Yager, but then if you dispel the vitality, it's terrible. So every time this thing popped up when I was playing Hero, all you hear was me lean really close to the mic and go, "Hey look, it's Tabula Rasa." So funny, but... Alright. I don't know if we should stand... Like, Unholy. We're running Holy, right? The Hatred fight didn't seem too bad. Let's just do this. I genuinely have no idea, though, what each of the Hydras do. I usually just pick one at random. I think it just affects certain buffs in the positioning, though. Let's Wolfguard you. Let's protect Reginald a little bit here. I would prefer not to have to spend gold on getting rid of more injuries than what Otis has. The downside is the poison they're getting is already a little bit further ahead. These won't affect this head, that's fine. What does Hydra's Blood do again? Every turn they recover 10 HP and gain 5 regen. Okay. Well, we're definitely doing this. 15 Sanctify on the first head is good too. The Holy Blast is 6. I mean, I just wish you could, you know. We do this, Holy Smite. And look at that, just from the Sanctify charges, Reginald's already full again. Although we are... Ooh. A little worrisome. Did I give Magnus the one piece I did? No, okay, he has the Dispel one. I couldn't remember for some reason. Alright. Blade Dance, let's ammunition, see what it gives us. Ricochet, we won't be able to play Rain of Arrows. But Rain of Arrows would have been cool. Shield Stance, sure. Intercept you. This head's dead, so I don't really want to worry about that. So I think we do this. That'll give her a Fortify. That'll hit the taunt head. When does this head go? It's third. Okay, we need to get some dispels down for sure. Problem is we have to chew through things to get to some of the other ones, which is annoying. Flash, Holy Smite, Flash, and then I'm actually going to Pain Suppression Magnus. And we'll finish dispelling Otis, because we use that on Magnus. Oh boy, okay. You just always have to keep in mind with our dispels too, our dispels hit the top 3, because we have 3 dispel on all of them. I think it's actually still better to Sever Ardor here than Guard. Quick Shot. Oh, I should Falcon Shot first. I always forget about that. Not bad. 2 heads are lethal. This head does... Ah, but it's not at the start. Yeah, and so I got a little bit more damage off. That's the annoying part about Poison versus Bleed. So... Taunts up. In Ideal World, he at least healed a little off Sanctify. We did not draw a Dispel, which is bad. For Reginald, because Reginald has a lot of poison. However... we can rain it up, and then we'll focus heal, and maybe we'll need to put something on Otis next round. I don't think Otis is in danger of dying. The back... I know I always talk about killing the healer first, but I think the Hydra fight, it matters a little less. Oh, there's all my Sharpens. Forgot I had those because they didn't show up for so long. Hi, Christos. How are you? Bleed beats poison 9 out of 10. Yeah, so the problem with... it's a lot easier to get poison stacks because there's cards that like transfer bleed to poison times 1.5 and such. But it's a little harder to make use of it, I think. Because it affects the end of the turn instead of immediately. Don't think I have enough energy to make use of Praise the Sun. I get one... well, I get one spell off anyways. Oh, this enemy's immune to Sanctify. I didn't know that. Do this. Spell that. I miss out on Reginald's talent for the... oh wait, no, did I use it already? It's fine. Better safe than sorry. At this point, at the end of a plane, it doesn't really matter if I get a Death's Door, because I can remove it immediately, but it's still gold that I'm losing out on. Let's see what this gives me. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that and then save the energy for it. What we got here? Energy sources have. Let's do this and this. Yeah, the Chalice is working pretty well. I don't think it's as good as it is with the Queen, but it still is helpful. This is dead at end of turn. Unless it heals. Yeah, this is like the only boss I actually usually don't focus on the healer first, just because of the way it works. We'll take that. Pass on that, gonna pass on that. I really feel okay on Dispels, especially since Magnus naturally Dispels with the item he has. We'll call that good. What have we got here? The emerald staff. I thought you had to craft the emerald staff. That's interesting. Alright, so then... This is good. The problem is the only person I can realistically put it on with our current build is Otis. We give Titan Gauntlets to... Actually, what does the corrupted version of this ring do? 8 HP, 3... okay, yeah. We give Titan Gauntlets to him. We give Hydra Egg to you. Where's what we can get here? Sylvie's... Neither of their rings is super helpful. This at least gives 1% more all resistances. Sylvie does have gear that's worth replacing, but nothing here I think is helpful. Alright, we have to move on to Red Portal if we want to try and unlock Heiner. I really love Heiner. I think Heiner's fun to use, but I just don't think Heiner's terribly strong. Oh, we got the throne too. That's funny. Reminder of a path to go down here. We have to go down. We could try for Arena Champion if it doesn't kill us. First off, before we forget, remove this. Take a look in the shop. Oh, this is a really good piece of armor. Perfect. When you heal a hero, apply 1. I think it's still better for the Dimensional Crystal. The Golden Bell is nice. Don't get me wrong. Healing a hero, applying 1 is good, but don't think we go for that. Holy damage plus 2, plus 1 draw. That could be good, but I'm going to stick with what we've got. I can probably reroll once here. There's the piece that's really good for Zek that I never find. That's also a really good ring for Zek. Imagine if I was running that build, huh? Every sight charge you apply burn. If that was not a weapon, that'd be worth taking. But I think Yager's Cleaver is still better. Who has a replaceable armor piece? Immune to slow is good. The most replaceable for that would probably be this, but I kind of like the Eldritch Cloak. Do I Tesseract? Magnus's weapon is super replaceable too right now. It's not great. What all could we get? I mean, Bonk Hammer would be funny, right? We probably won't see much prismatic stuff, though, this early on. I mean, of the stuff we've seen, there's just not a whole lot that... I like, too, that they always give you the icons and where it is. In all honesty, something that would be good... Yeah, see, this you have to take the Forge normally, and we just randomly got it here. In all honesty, the best thing we could probably get from Magnus would maybe be an application that helps us, or the Tesseract. You know, we'll try it. We have a bit of an excess in gold right now. Can we get a Mass Dispel yet? No. That's obnoxious. Must be town upgrade then. Caravan is starting down, currency retention, sell supplies for golden shards. Okay, so this path I don't think we keep going on, to be honest. Currency retention is good for the chests, but we'll see. Rerolling armory is good, cost in armory, rarity in armory is good. I think Magic Forge and armory are really high priority here. Rare cards in starting town, rerolling. I mean, neither of these affects us now. Let's do this. We should get enough supplies, in theory, to get a little bit more. We can upgrade healing rain so it's just all heroes. Don't have to worry about giving the enemies stuff. We got a really good spell. Sunbeam will upgrade. If it's between upgrading a bunch of cards for a little bit of value or one really expensive card, I usually go with the quantity over quality here. Just because, you know, quantity means you're more likely to run into them as opposed to maybe not. Cost reduced by 2. Yeah, let's upgrade the ammunition. Can I make the vigilance 0? No. I can make them not vanish. However, I don't even think either of these upgrades is helpful to me now because of energy cost versus that. What else can we get? Upgrade multi-shot for 2 damage. We can upgrade rapid fire to target correctly. Making that one cheaper means we'll probably use it. Ricochet, applying more bleach ore. Probably one more card here. Oh, or we could just upgrade 3 Holy Smites. We take that. Alright. Looking pretty good. Let's try for Arena Champion. That might kill us and we might not unlock Heiner, but to be honest, we might also not survive that mini-boss in there anyways. Although fighting the Minotaur is scary. What do we got? We do this. This. That Corrupted Blade Dance was so good. I'm actually really impressed with that. What level are our characters right now, too? So hopefully we'll get that 3rd level before we fight anything. I don't believe we'll level up again before we fight Minotaur because it's so close, but I'm hoping before we fight the Forge boss, it'll be okay. They are just hammering into Magnus, though. Jeez. Do this and then dispel Magnus. And we'll even, you know, we'll even barrier Magnus. Why not? Holy Smite. Remember, we have this crystal. Holy Smite. Holy Smite. I want these goblins dead. Dispel that last thing, and we'll give everyone some regen. The rain could be helpful if we make it to the dragon, or the... whatever it's called at the end of this fight. In fact, that would have been nice to have another one, now that I think about it, but... little late for that. These two are missing a chunk. Chant of Accuracy's free. Front monster multi-shot. 2 monsters now dead on turn. Sure. In an ideal world, I think we get this one dead on turn. Wolfguard yourself and then do this. Oh, we can do everything. I always like super contemplate the order and stuff I need when I don't need to, and then when I do need to, I just forget. Alright, let's ripple for the chain. So I believe it has to chain to adjacent enemies. So the 3rd bounce didn't matter, but the 2nd would always hit this guy. Let's Benediction U. What do we have? Okay. It's the upgraded one. Holy Smite. Flash. Flash. Cool. Worked out pretty well. We're able to recoup most of our health on everyone not named Magnus. And even then, the regen actually just played in part there. Alright, we take that. What have we got? I wouldn't mind another Impale. In fact, I wouldn't mind a Rupture either. We just haven't got much AoE healing in general, but I don't think it makes sense. But the way Otis works with Sanctify, I just don't think it makes sense to put generic heal cards in his deck. The Dragon Vegetarian, sure. They gave us a pity. That's what I thought that interaction did. It's funny. This would be good if we didn't already have... Well, how often is Magnus really using all the cards? Why not? For safety. No. No. I will take another Healing Rain just because we're in Vel'Korath. And let's participate in the arena. Who knows? We might die, but... I think it's 2 or 3 fights, I can't remember. Which consecutively is scary, but... You know. You can get the Arena Champion buff, which is pretty schmexy. Alright, what have we got? Deflect. Quick Shot. Yeah, Blade Dance. Side apply, side apply. This is where they get to go 3 turns in a row, though, and it's gonna hurt. Probably Magnus. For some reason, a lot of the enemies here seem to have... Well, that was random. Heavy frontline, which is fine. I feel like generally it's better to have enemies go heavily on frontline than your backline. Spell Magnus. Here we go. Get rid of this squirrel. The Frosted Applies can really mess up turn order. And with how many Dispels we have, I'm not as worried about Poison and Bleed. Yeah, that'll work. Not too bad. Ideally, I'd upgrade that card. The problem is there's no guarantee I can use it every time, right? Okay. Let's run this. It's not lethal on turn, but it's lethal after. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Poison and Bleed go through armor. Sylvie, we'll use that. Okay, let's Ricochet multi-shot, because the Ricochet will still hit that Mosquito. Although maybe I could have played for lethal on one of them instead. Interesting. At this point, I mean, we probably just want to heal up. Otis specifically could go for Sanctify charges, but it matters too much. Spell that, Healing Rain, heal up, and then... Yeah, we'll take it. We go into the next arena fight pretty strong. Safeguard is a really good card, if you have a large deck. But it's draw pile times 4. It's what a lot of people use to instantly stack Thorns on late game Bree as well. For now, I think I'm actually going to pass on it, though, funnily enough. Alright, here we can fight either these two, and then it's Minotaur. I think this is Bleed, this is Burn. Because we have Double Rain, let's go Blazing Brothers. And this is a fight we definitely want to focus backline. What have we got? Good, we can play everything here. I do believe the backline mage is more dangerous, but... Let's see. I forgot these guys are named. Summoning the Imp I don't think is actually too dangerous. As long as we draw a couple of Sylvie's AoE, should be able to just take it down alongside the other stuff. A bit of an unfortunate draw. Alright, let's do this. It's hitting the block, I know, but... Yeah, I don't know. It has Fortify for 2 turns, so we're going to have to chew through it regardless. It's a bit unfortunate the Crystal's going to have to be used on a Flash instead of a better Holy Spell, but I think it's better than not using it. We'll just have you do 2 spells and save some energy. Stockade. Barricade. As for who we Wolfguard, I think we'll Wolfguard Sylvie. It's a bit of an on-the-fly decision, but I think that could be helpful. Here's the AoE I was talking about. Yeah, see, the Imp's already dead. On turn start. Hopefully she doesn't summon another one. Just thought about that. Be awkward. Alright, this one's dead on turn start to Bleed and Burn. Dispel the highest burn. Hit this one. Not too shabby. Alright, Holy Smite for talent. We just go ahead and Holy Smite again, and then we'll Dispel something here. Yeah, so far this fight's actually been pretty safe, surprisingly. I have no idea how the Minotaur will go. The Minotaur is a fight that is really scary if it goes on for a long time. However, we have enough Bleed and Poison and Holy Application. I'm hoping it won't be a problem. Good. Alright, very nice. And we've still got most of our health. What do we got? Rampage, Flanking Strike. Pass. I'm tempted for that. No. No. And no. Not great card options. Alright, come on, Minotaur. See what you got. 724 health. That's scary. Alright, we're going to immediately, I think, Wolfguard just lowest HP. If it's going to be in starting hand, we should probably apply it instantly. Minotaur doesn't summon anything else, though. It just hurts a lot. Take a 1-cost Rapid Fire, and then go whichever does more damage. Asterius gains Fury, which applies Bleed to itself, but it does hurt. Oh, and we can Purge. That's actually, I forgot about that. I think with our current build, we should always go for Sanctify application. Like, the AoE spell is really good, but not against single target fights. At that point, it's just a lot of invested energy for not a whole lot of payoff. Not really a reason to Healing Rain here. Minotaur being fast is bad, though. Yeah, I'm actually going to Sever Artery here. Because Magnus already, like, his turn's already passed this turn. So it's not like I get any benefit out of it. putting up block. Something I always have to drive into my head. Or the 51 bleed, 20 poison. Not too bad. We don't have the frost stacks of the queen we had last time to fall back on. This is a bad hand for Otis, but still had something we could do. How much does this do? 11? We just can't get this Holy Blast to a point with Blessed stacks yet, it feels like. I was really hoping we could get it to a point where it would feel good. But thus far, it's always been less than, like, any other spell I've had available to me. This is good. Give ourselves a Fortify stack. What's it doing here? Front hero, AoE. The AoE is going to hurt. Because we didn't get AoE block on Magnus their turn to kind of help with it. Ooh, okay. Wait, what? When I said it didn't multiply, I actually didn't know it could. Oh, oh no. That's really bad. I didn't mean to lie. I actually didn't think it could do that. I've never seen this happen. I wonder if I kill one, if I have to kill them evenly then, or... I hope that's not the case. That would be quite bad. I've never seen that happen before. That's nuts. With how reliant we are at this stage of the game on our bleed stacks, I don't know how much I can realistically rely on that. Let's try and just kill this one. It's not quite lethal, but... Okay. Still dead. We've got this stack. The nice thing about this perk from Sylvie, too, is it procs on anyone's hit, not just hers. Yeah, if they can continually summon, we're in trouble, because I'm not going to be able to do too much about it. I'll just praise the sun here for some application. Here's where Reginald gets to shine. Why is Magnus slowed? Oh. I immediately look down and see slow. What's it got? Gain Fury, Dispel, slow, and that. Okay. Not good, but not too bad. Still more damage even if it doesn't bounce. Alright, well, we have enough sight that we'll still be able to tell what it does. Yeah, I had no idea it could do that. 4 sharp charges on Sylvie. We didn't really see more sharp charge build up, which would have been nice. Oh, it's fast, what? Is this lethal? It's lethal. Okay, we're good. We take that. That scared me real bad when I saw that could happen. I've never seen that before. What have we got? No. If I can ever play this, this would be great. I just don't know if I'll ever be able to. Unless, like, she's forced to miss a turn, so I'm gonna pass on it. That's nice, but that's also... I can't pass up on a prismatic, come on. Prescription could have been good, actually. Yeah, Arena Champion. On draw, basically, as with all boons, you get another card. Then 3 powerful and 1 extra energized. That's so good. I do not recall what this one is. Alright, it's a Harpy fight. Yeah, it's a Harpy fight. Let's go full Scorched Earth and just go aggressive here. What have you got? Alright, well, the front monster is going to be hurting pretty bad. I think the scariest part with this game, though, is when enemies get to go several times back to back. Because if it's scattered their turns, your turns, you can kind of react to it a lot of the time, but otherwise it's kind of like, well, it's going to hurt. Yeah, Otis is already almost half HP. What have we got? The Dispel could be wise if we're being honest, but we'll just start proccing Sanctify. That gave him a good chunk of health back. What have we got? We didn't draw a single Holy Spell, which is unfortunate. Totally forgot about that. I probably would have done Benediction, to be honest. I don't need to Focus Heal, so let's heal and then charge up Focus Heal. Snipe. Protect. There's something to be said for protecting Otis with how this has gone too, but as always, I think Reginald is important to keep alive. End of accuracy, she's up to 4. Very nice. And because this one's stealth, that hits the next one over. Great. I wonder if they used an actual pig squeal for Otis's when Otis gets hit, because it sounds like it. Which energy? 3? Okay. Focus down this one. I'm going to dispel you and barrier you. Which one is this? It is this one, okay. Alright. And we want it to die on turn start. It's a waste of a little bit of damage, but then it doesn't get the chance to do anything either. Oh yeah, lowest HP hero pretty much always hit Otis, unless someone's real injured. Otis has like 30 less max HP than anyone else. We're working through it though. Not been too bad so far. If we die on this plane, it's going to be to the mini-boss in the Forge most likely, or the beast at the end. It's possible, you know, that we bite the bullet to someone else, but I feel like that's the most, you know, what I would expect here. Alright, double Holy Smite. Flash. Flash. We'll dispel this. The lightning charges are obnoxious because it does damage to the sides, so the middle heroes, you want to get rid of it. Does it always give us those 3? I picked those up because I thought it'd be nice, but it's always been like those 3 cards specifically. It's a tad bit disappointing. Alright, but we're good. They're both dead on turn start, so. Interesting. Take that, take that. That, and I actually will take a Holy Nova, because we don't have one for Otis, and I think it's still helpful. Definitely Valiant Defender. We'll take Hawkeye again. Solar Flare is good. We don't have like any defenses. Holy Crusader or Holy Symbol. It's Holy Crusader. Alright, so what's this again? I mean, we'll be on the lookout for books. I think that's probably the library on stage 4, though. I mean, we need to force our way in here. Oh, no, it's apparently in here. Don't draw any zeros, please. Oh my goodness, Reginald. Every time. Alright, so I believe this is the book he's talking about, but I'm not sure. Oh, we don't have to fight... No, we do have to fight the boss for Heiner, okay. I believe this is the Forge where you can get a bunch of different stuff. But let's go down, because it looks like... I want to say that's where we're going, but I could be wrong. I don't see the quest mark for anything. What are these immune to? These machine monsters aren't immune to bleed. Great. I mean, honestly, that's surprising, but it works out well for me. It's so funny that we can use just sight. You can have your bird look at them and they get poison. I think it's 2. Doesn't Sylvie at some point get... Yeah, at some point you can get your pet slot with Harley corrupted version, which is nice. Until it gets killed by, you know, until you take this as your level 5 perk, and then she dies immediately, the pet dies immediately to Handcheck's ability. Then it feels a little bit less good. Do this, and then we do need to focus on keeping Magnus alive. Holy Crusader. Next 4 holy spells applies Sanctified Everyone, which means we're all going to heal a bunch whenever we hit anything. We'll help out Magnus a little bit. Magnus didn't draw anything to hit anyone, which kind of defeats that purpose there. We'll just do this. Wolfguard is just nice to have on anyone that's in any remote amount of danger, you know? Blade Dance, this one. Give me a good ricochet bat. Nope, that's not who I wanted to ricochet to. That's fine. This is dead on next turn. This is dead on turn. This one's the one that's going to last for a little bit. And you can already see how the rain's helpful, because not only could we, you know, debuff removal this flame, but we can rain it out. I'm not even going to bother with Praise the Sun. I don't think it's worth using here. Oh, I could have rain. Yeah, that's fine. Either way, it's helpful. The downside is, of course, when Reginald doesn't draw a Holy Spell, he can't make use of his passive. Alright, they're both dead on turn start. Good. I don't think I've shown the boss fight of this little mini-boss area yet. It's a problem. Especially, I think, with our damage portfolio being really heavily bleed, but we'll get to that. I could do the transform bleed into point. Let's take a chain heal. Reginald has such few healing. Yeah, sure. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Okay. I remember one time I messed it up really confidently. When I was playing multiplayer, I lagged, and it's a little harder to tell with something like that. So you just see my icon, confidently click one immediately, and then all three of my friends click a different one. Okay, no, this was not the correct thing. That's awkward. Let's open the box. We have to get a fight here, but yeah. Are these immune to bleed? Why are these robots not immune to bleed? The skeletons are immune to bleed, but the robots aren't. That's weird. I really want to sever artery, but let's do this. I don't want to take too much chip damage right before the endgame if possible. We double vigilance still. Yeah, some of the immunities just don't make sense to me. The skeletons are immune to either poison or bleed, but these literal machine robots, I guess you would argue poison could be like acidic and kind of wearing away at them, but even then, it's kind of funny. I do think the little guys are a little more dangerous. Funnily enough, even though these are the big hulking things carrying a shield. It's a good bounce. Wait, don't forget we have this. As I always do. Alright, we rain it up, and then we'll spell that. Not too bad. First turn, of course, we had a pretty good speed advantage, so that worked to our favor. Valiant Defender, Barricade. Might as well. These things have Fortify, but if they're not protecting the actual big damage dealers, I'm not as worried about it. Alright, Hawkeye. Quick shot. Deflect. There's the Arena Champion. Multi-shot. Good time for you. Applying that extra bleed every single turn. I'm trying to remember if this final boss is immune to bleed. I think at least one of the pieces are. Ow. Yeah, between double rain and then all the dispels we have, I'm really hoping we can keep on top of that, but you can see how fast this stacks. And it's a scary one. What can we do here? Oh, they're taunting, really? I guess we just build up Sanctify and heal off of it. Gotta dispel that. Magnus does have a lot of burn on right now, but I think because of overall health pool, it's wiser to dispel those twos. Fast strike, fast strike. How should let Otis move? Yeah, before them. It's unfortunate that this one dies on turn, but this one we could have probably killed earlier. Now they're gonna... Okay. Oh, they're still taunting. Okay. And we'll have one excess energy, so we'll go for... It's not much sharp charge. Let's just grab a 1-cost rapid fire. And stealth it up. Alright, cool. Oh, the taunts on that one, but not that one because of turn order. That's annoying. Alright, no dispels here, but we can just take that out, do that. Divine Grace that. Even though it doesn't remove the burn, it's still helpful. Our regen's real high with our combo once again. But we'll take that. Let's do the 1-cost rapid fire. Ice shot. Good. I'm tempted. You know what? Sure. We'll try it. Don't know if we'll use it, but we'll try it. Yin Yang Bolt is good just because it's high Sanctify. We won't use the Dark, and then we'll take another Holy Nova. Because of the fight we're about to come into. This could kill me. It's a big boy machine. Are they really not immune to bleed? That one's immune to Anchor. That's surprising. Helpful, but surprising. I know if you hit this one's block, it does a big laser. So ideally, this first turn, we don't AoE. I believe if you kill this one, though, it all dies. There's something like that. I don't believe this affects. Yeah, good. The fact that we can apply Bleed and Poison makes this a lot more winnable. Why did the pet have to attack the laser? I would love the Divine Insight and get some application immediately, but Fortune favors the bold. I only did that, yeah, because I knew we had both the Reigns in the deck still. Not too concerned on which one to finish off. To be fair, there's something we said for getting rid of the guns. We'll do that. Oh boy. Did that just random here Reginald like 4 times? What? Yeah, Dwarf Fortress. I cannot recall if these pieces are able to regen, which is, yeah, it's important. I'm actually gonna do this. 120 for block plus fortify. Reginald should not be going down anytime soon, unless something drastic happens. Yeah, if the pieces can repair, I'm a little more worried. I want to just make sure there's Sanctify on everyone. Let's save the energy. Let's not do the heal. There's some Dispels. Good. What we're looking for. Sure. I mean, once we focus one piece, maybe we should just target that one. Let's save energy. I am pretty certain it's this one, which makes sense. It's like the cockpit, right? Whatever it's being driven by. But, what? That's not good. And now, Otis is taunting for some reason. I did not think that was going to happen. Good chunk of health, but if whatever that was that hit it happens again, we're in trouble. Did I drugged that to the wrong person. That's not good. I think I might have targeted the wrong things to start, though. This is bad. Chain heal. I think we have to find a way to use the chain heal here. Much as I'd love the Holy Nova again. Only one went to Mag. That's still better than nothing. I almost feel like we have to dispel Magnus because of the situation he's in. Maybe triple Sunbeam. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's because Otis is taunting. Otis is taunting still, so every single one hit it. Oh boy. Otis is still taunting until the end of this turn. Reginald still has Fortify, so any block on Reginald is still worth keeping. In fact, let's do this and give a Fortify charge to Otis as well. We deflect. Chant of Accuracy. Quick shot. I want one piece dead. It didn't apply the bleed, crud. There's just so much block on these enemies now, too. God. We're not in a good position to use either of these. So we'll just go for the defensive play here. That's a really bad time to draw those. Alright, that one's dead. Let's focus down one of the... Maybe the random one would have been good, but let's focus down Laser. Let's keep Otis safe. Magnus still has the health pool and the self-dispel to, I think, stay alive. Sylvie just took the big hit. It's basically just hoping whoever takes that big wombo hit doesn't die. And then kind of moving to protect them. Yeah, it's always the same cards. I hope so much that these can't regen pieces. If it can, I've made a horrible, horrible mistake. In fact, let's do this. Do this. That way we can start working this thing down a little bit. Just in case that is how it works. Can I use Christ? Nope. Okay. We'll dispel Sylvie just in case. Alright, Holy Crusader. Holy Smite. Holy Smite. That thing's dead. Now we dispel everyone's flame. We're looking good. Not too bad. What's the launcher gonna do? Okay, that's fine too because it's more dispersed than when one person was force taunting. Good thing we have such a speed advantage here too. We never had to worry about Magnus's block wearing off. Alright, so let's deflect, quick shot, blade dance. You know, let's hit the launcher. So that's 69 bleed. Difference of what? 26 damage if I can do here. For it to be lethal at start of turn. Yeah, it's lethal at start of turn, good. Alright, it's just the main unit. Good. Means 92 armor, jeez. Alright, it's just this beast. Luckily, because we have sight, we can make sure it's not, like, regenning something. Which would be worst case scenario, if we're being honest. This thing just randomly gaining a bunch of, getting the pieces back. But I keep forgetting, like, I still had genuinely, after, like, 100 runs, I had no idea the Minotaur could summon another Minotaur. I'd never seen that. But overall, this fight, despite how much I was worried about it, we were never really in threat. Like, these two took huge chunks of damage, but it was still like a good 20-30 health. So we take that. No, do it yourself taunt. I've done this before with a friend. It taunts them for 2 turns. No. Circle of Healing, perfect. I was looking for that earlier. We got Honorable as well. What can we do here? Dexter charges would be nice if it wasn't for the speed drop. Flame charges, no. Damage with hit, we talked about maybe, you know what? We'll try this. Because Magnus already has such low, like, damage upkeep and a lot of free attacks. We won't stack much electricity, but we could try it. Every turn gaining sharp would be great if we didn't have such a good potion already. I don't feel like anyone else has anything to benefit here, unfortunately. There's Heiner. Such a fun character to use, but also not like a character. We have 2 fights than the boss to make it to Act 4. That would be pretty sweet. Are these things immune to bleed? That one is, okay. Do this, Stockade. I mean, we can just poison them, so it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a lot of lightning damage, right? It's 1 lightning damage to the sides, but it's still better than nothing. Let's target one of the golems, because they're going to last longer. Although I would argue that the harpies are more dangerous. Yeah. But you can see how the double healer team, how much safer we are with all the dispels we have. Like, if we'd only had 1 character with dispels, even if we had more damage, this would just be so much harder. I'm going to do this and this. And now anyone that can target the back enemy is going to have a fair amount of healing. Holy Smite. Holy Smite. Holy Smite. Dispel. You know, I'm going to dispel the mark, actually. No reason Healing Rain. We'll use that for a dispel. swear every time an enemy uses a random thing, it just picks one and hits him, like, most of the time. Actually, let Magnus safeguard himself. I mean, the ability for 4 Fortify stacks is really nice. Okay, so we do this, this, take this thing down low. These things really just give a lot of block, and then they rely on blunt damage, which can be dangerous, but in general, I think crack charges are one of the slower ones to build up. There's a bunch of Steam achievements for getting like 200 stacks on a bunch of the statuses, and that was actually one of the ones that I had hardest time with. I think I just brought a healer and 4 warriors, and then slammed blunt damage, and even then it was really bad. But getting like 200 fury charges, 200 poison and stuff is not a problem at all. Guess we'll wear down front golem because this thing's invisible. I would prefer to hit the harpy, but you know, stealth. Okay. Let's see. It's a good time for Blade Dance. Actually, what we can do is Camouflage for some Sharp Charge and Blade Dance. A little more damage. The Camouflage would have made her safer in between turns, but I think it's fine to do what we did. Barricade. We'll let the armor stick on Otis. We'll rend this one. Not too shabby. I think the problem is if we don't kill the Harpy this turn, she stealths again, which would be unpleasant. And it looks like that's what's gonna... Oh! No, we should be good. Let's dispel this. I mean, I could grant more Bless charges for next turn. I mean, 10 Bless is pretty funny. Oh, a scare. I was about to say, what just happened? Alright, Harpy's dead. We'll, of course, just focus the Scarab. If we can. Hawkeye, Chan of Accuracy. Decent chunk. Magnus probably won't be... Oh, Magnus drew Rend. I would sharpen up for Sil. Maybe I should have sharpened Magnus, actually. Still probably worth it, but... Why would you shield the Scarab? How could you do this to me, Golem? How much regen we have? What do we got? Let's, It's just always such a bad time to draw these. Why do these always come at the same time, too? That's what makes them truly unhelpful, is when I draw them at the same time and I don't have enough energy to truly make use of either. Alright, well the Scarab's gonna run away, so it just went. It does use this before it dies as spite, but, you know. If other enemies in the fight don't apply Dark, it's not like you're gonna have Dark pop, most likely. Here we go. I think this will be the last run for them now. Jeez, we've been streaming for 3 hours because this one run has taken like 2 hours already. Jeez. This is such a fun game. Like, I'm having fun, but I don't know how entertaining it is, to be fair. Similarly repetitive fights. But, fun game. It is fun. Alright, we need to get on top of some Dispels, probably. Not too worried about this fight from this point on. I mean, it should just be free. But it's... Yeah, okay. Taking chip damage that carries in the next fight is just always a danger. No, no. I will take a Sunbeam. No. Alright, on to another elemental fight. This time we absolutely focus these things. They are not a good time if they get to stay alive. We've already seen what these do, but the amount of burn charges these things throw up is nasty. But I'm already pretty happy with how this run turned out. I mean, our last run also died on third plane right before the boss, but I think it's a pretty healthy amount of progress. They're just slamming Magnus, what? Alright. And Magnus is... Do we have Dispels? Tell me we drew Dispels. Good. Dispels the slow and the last turn thing. Super good. Now, because it's Praise the Sun, I think we go ahead and do this. Get some Sanctify application down. Because we're focusing down second Lava Elemental, we'll do this. And I'll use one heal on Magnus, I'm not going to use both. The ability to dispel those slows as well as that, that ball and chain, I can't remember what it's called, that makes him go last was super helpful. I'm even going to do this, actually. This fight will be much more manageable even with just one Lava Elemental. Yeah, fastest heroes, it's Shackle, is always going to apply to Magnus. Unfortunately. Well, let's do Solar Flare. Let's Atonement this one. And then Shining Force this one with the Solar Flare effect. Nice. That's, yeah, okay. Well, we can dispel both things on Magnus once again, that's helpful. Start focusing the back Lava Elemental. This will do 10 damage. Yeah, it just... I'm honestly considering removing this if I get to the next town, because it's just been so underwhelming. Let's Wolfguard Sylvie Shore, Stockade, Barricade. Give some extra block to someone who has Fortify, because Magnus no longer does. Select, alright, multi-shot. The ammunition had been cool, it's just a little hard to find the time to use it. Free Ricochet is good. One Lava Elemental down. Let's get the second one before it does something nasty. Alternatively, we could draw not something not helpful. Alright, Reginald, it's up to you. Great. Oh boy. That's unfortunate. If either of these two had... They drew one Holy Spell between the two of them, this would have died on turn. Okay, we don't want to hit it again because then it's going to blow up. So, no AoE for the next turn. And we just gotta hope the pets don't hit it. If the pets hit it, it's also going to blow up. You know what? Risk it. I shouldn't have risked it. Sharpen up. I thought maybe I could get away with it. I was not able to. Fine, it didn't do much more except give us some burn charges, which these enemies, to be fair, don't really make use of. It's the Holy Crusader value. I'm honestly starting to wonder if it even would have worked this well to have Double Dark. Can try for the Scarab, but this is the 7 evasion charge one. Probably won't happen, but... Because Sylvie's where a lot of our damage actually is realistically coming from when it comes to stuff like this with the bleed and poison. Not to discount our holy damage, but our holy damage isn't as quick application. Yeah, I shouldn't have even wasted turns on it. It's fine. Elemental dies either way. And this isn't the one that actually hits you, so... That was sadly close, dang. That's okay. Alright, we made it to the boss. Wasn't expecting to. And Entrench is good, Adrenaline's nice. This is the version that's free and doesn't give you exhaustion. We take that. Alright, come on, boss. Let's see how this goes. This one summons these. We do want to get rid of these rocks. This thing is immune to that. That's fine, okay. The rocks are immune, of course, to, like, pretty much everything, but... That's not what I'm worried about. The problem with this enemy is this enemy really likes to... Let's save the energy. To give everyone a bunch of heat and then absorb it with what's called heat assimilation, which heals it. So you'll think you've really got it on the ropes, and then it just heat assimilates and gets a ton of health back. Of course, with stacking bleed and poison, that'll be less of a problem. It's still an issue. I'm gonna Shining Force this. We do not want these lava spikes sticking around because they also apply a bunch of heat. Thankfully we had this. Good. We take that. Good time to draw Holy Crusader. Keep that under wraps. Yeah, here it is. Self-heal X. X equals target 2.5. It's global, so it removes all heat and then heals 2.5 when it's removed. Really nasty stuff. Have Sylvie go ham. 53, 56 bleed already is good. Oh my... What? Was that random or... Why did it all hit Magnus? Okay, at least the heat was dispelled. That could have been bad. Well, we'll do this and protect Magnus a little. The Sanctify charges of Magnus draw some attack will be helpful. Just in case if not. I don't want to use the rain though. There's no burn charges. Yeah, I feel like I have to do some attacks here. Stockade won't do anything because it's the end of turn. Fortunate of the lack of speed. Oh, no, we got it back. Okay. Okay, through Sanctify, Magnus is full health again, and I'm actually going to give Magnus some Fortify, just in case. Alright, maybe I should have rapid fired there, actually. The nice thing is I don't believe this enemy dispels anything on itself, so the bleed charges will eventually overtake it. But you can see its health fluctuates a lot because of what happens. Like, deal with hit, applies Sanctify and that, so it just... This fight, more than any other, I think, in this game, feels like a tug and pull. Tug and pull, I mean, like, push and pull, whatever the saying is. Holy Smite, Holy Smite. We'll Dispel just in case. It's less that those debuffs were an issue, and more that if we get other debuffs that stack below it, it's harder to remove them. But we're working them down. Here we go. Definitely quick shot rapid fire. The 135 bleed, we take that. Gruckly can of course apply bleed much faster, but we don't have Gruckly. And Gruckly also applies bleed to himself much faster. Keep up with these. I think that's the safest way to go. A good time for Healing Rain. Good time to dispel that. Can we prep Focus Heal and then just hold? Valiant Heal, Safeguard. Okay, not bad. Bit unfortunate that we couldn't kill these spikes because of the armor they get, but we'll try and at least get rid of one. I'd love to Chant of Accuracy, but let's do this and this. Alright, Ignido should go down. We should win this fight. Elements, Holy Smite, Sunbeam, let's just get rid of that. Could have used anyone really to take that out, but Holy Smite, yeah, it dies this turn. Or, I guess, technically next turn, but before it acts again is the important part. Might as well just keep hitting it. Actually, I could just end turn, to be honest, and let it die. This is when I drew all of Sylvie's good perks. Jeez. God, I don't want another shield stance. I'd love this, I just don't think I'll get to use it. No, there's a Mass Dispel. That's always nice. Alright, what have we got? Damage with hit applied to that. That's better than what he has, I guess. Turncast Overheat. What's Overheat do? Suffer Burn, gain that now. There's nothing really here that I'd like. But Magnus applying Burn instead of Electricity on hit is, you know, it's whatever. But it's 2 burn stacks as opposed to 1 Electricity. So we do have to go to the library. I don't know if we'll make it there. The options we have here, this is, I think, part of Nezglek's quest. We can go up to the library, but I don't believe it unlocks a character or anything. It says it's a character event, but who could it be? Ancient, hold on, let me look it up. If that's a character, we absolutely should go for it. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. Ancient Knowledge Quest. Rest area of Volkarath. Unlock. Oh, it's how you unlock Wilbur. I did not know that. Interesting. We can go down here and selling the trophy or the emerald gives you extra gear. This is actually the emerald staff we found. This is where you usually get it. If we can make it to the library, we get another character. We're 3 fights away. We'll see how it goes. What can we find? Chalice of Queens. We can actually corrupt Chalice of Queens. That's nice. I mean, on this shop, there's no reason not to go ham unless we're trying to save, you know, some resources. The 1, that's good. I'm going to give that to Wilbur, I think. Sanctified charge, yeah, that's fine. The 1's really good. The bleed charge you apply flame. I'm giving that to Sylvie. I probably won't be able to buy anything else, but it's nice to see, you know? Just to get a glimpse. Before we upgrade anything, we want to upgrade Mass Dispel so it's not a Vanish card. What do we got for Reginald? Not really seeing anything here. I could buy another Mass Dispel, but probably won't. Holy Novus is good. Sanctification is good. And this is where you really start to get access to really good cards. Take another Stockade, and then let's grab some upgrades. Holy Ripples do feel a little underwhelming, so does Shining Force. We upgrade the Holy Novas, I think. AoE is going to be important coming up. You know what? Sure. Let's upgrade the Stockades. Might not be the most meaningful upgrade, but we'll try it. And this floor is where things are going to take some time. The Orbeez you always want to focus. Ordinarily, like we saw on other floors, I don't actually focus shielders. I think the Orbeez you actually need to. Unfortunately. Don't believe they're immune to anything, yeah. But at this current strength level, we have, like, we got a prismatic gear, which is nice, but the enemies here are strong enough that it could legitimately... Any fight could be dangerous and at least take one character down. I'm surprised at how long this run took. It's been like 2 hours. And we're still not really close to done. There's still 2 more floors unless I die. You can see how much that extra energy regeneration helps Otis. He gets 4 energy a turn. All that extra stuff. It's so nice. I'm going to double Holy Nova. I should have used the Holy Smite for Bless first. That's fine. And I'll dispel his Sanctify. Because a lot of these enemies can do this back to us. Make it take quite some time. You'll actually have Magnus Wolfguard himself. Yeah, I didn't realize Shield Stance was always the same 3 cards, though. I can't decide if I think that's good or bad. With the defensive stance, I don't think it's terrible. It's just kind of odd. Do this. Hawkeye, Adrenaline. Down Orby. You can see how much shields this thing generates. This is actually an ability Heiner has. Shield generator pretty early on. I don't know if it's exactly that, but it's the same symbol. Right. We praise the sun, then Holy Nova. There's so much block on these enemies right now, jeez. And the problem is once you do damage through this, it does it again. Alright, ooh, okay. I'm still satisfied. Like, even endgame, this double regen strat worked well. And we pretty much started with it, is the crazy thing. I mean, it was first boss and then second floor mini-boss, but still. If we can unlock Wilbur here, I think I feel pretty confident about unlocking Sands of Ulumin characters. We, of course, still don't have Zek, but... maybe we'll go for Novelia or Leia instead. Go full Sanctify instead of full Dark. I think to play here as we go. This. And then... Shining Force. Because of the value. Otherwise, I would have Holy Nova'd. Holy Crusader's good. Dispel that. And the rains aren't super helpful at this point. There's not much flame damage, but either way. Yeah, there's so many blunt damage. Magnus takes so much extra blunt damage right now. 2 of them are dead, though, which is good. There are enemies on this floor that heal, but we didn't come across them, so I'm not too worried. Getting Orby with the healers, though, is obnoxious. Falcon Shot to proc that. Make sure that one's evasion is down, and then we might as well Quick Shot. Not really a reason not to. This still applies this. Ooh, Magnus, come on. Don't go down. 3 enemies are dead. Yin Yang Bolt, sure. Yeah, it feels so good. I wasn't expecting to get a prismatic at that store. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But when you can, it feels real nice. Don't hit Magnus, please. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Find Magnus Drew. Who has more Sanctify this one? Right. I'm actually going to take Shield Charge just for the sake of getting more healing through Sanctify. Alright. Pretty safe fight. Magnus came away a little worse for wear, but overall not too bad. Alright, we take that. No. No. Could be fun, but probably not. No. Alright, here's where we search through a pile. If you pass the check, which we have 56%, you do get a prismatic item. So let's just take a quick look just to make sure as far as what could be helpful. From the weapon pile... In all honesty, I'm considering just because if I get Lightbringer, that'd be nuts. Armor... I mean, best case scenario for potion would probably be Mirror of Cassandra. We already have the one. I think we go weapon and just hope we can get Lightbringer. It's a low chance, right? It's all the weapons possible and then us passing this check, which we did. Oh my goodness! I can't believe that happened. I take that. We take that. When I said that could happen, I didn't believe it. I mean, I believed it could happen, I just didn't think it would. I'm finding early on in some of these fights, though, we are in a bit of danger, because we don't stack up Sanctify, we don't stack up Bless. But we do want to take... I mean, in all honesty, every enemy in this fight is kind of obnoxious. Shielding, AoE Blast, we saw. This one's also really obnoxious. Okay, just don't kill Magnus, please. Okay. Go. Ooh, yeah. Let's do this. And then we'll dispel some stuff off Magnus just to keep him safe. What have we got? Well, hear me out. With Pain Suppression. I hate to do that and miss out on the Temple of Holy Crusader, but that is probably the safe thing to do. Especially since I know this thing likes to hit the front, although it didn't. Because the issue at this point, Oz, is whether we lose before we get to the end or not. Once we... You know, there's always the chance to retry fights. Once we die, I'll probably call the run there and the stream, because this run's about 2.5 hours and counting. But, I think it is worth noting that with our setup, you know, with different RNG, we could probably beat a good number of fights. This could theoretically be a run that could make it to the end, which I was not expecting, but we got pretty good luck with what we obtained. But part of the issue is if we get Death's Door this early, it's really hard to get rid of it. There are a couple opportunities, but they're not usually easy to make use of. Probably want the AoE guy down. I don't think we need the Massive Dispel. Let's do this. Start working down the gunner. I'm actually going to save the energy too. I don't think I have anything worth dispelling. Magnus being slower is really bad though. These two are dead, but it's the gunner that's going to get to go. Actually, I should save the energy. So easy to get in the habit of just being like, I'm going to play whatever I can, but you really should save energy where you can. Still applies to bleed. Okay. Moment. I'm actually going to double sanctify on the back enemy, I think. Purge the slow. This gunner is putting up a fight. It does not want to go down. Yeah, Lightbringer was such a good pull. I can't believe that happened. Like, I was... Like, to get that... If you get a critical success, you get 2 prismatics from the pile, weapon, jewelry, armor, whatnot. But, like, I was honestly expecting, with my luck, for this to be, after not seeing the dark one in, like, 20 runs, for the dark team comp, I thought that's what I was gonna see. You know, the one weapon that's only useful for dark comp. But to be fair, this one's only really useful for... Lightbringer I don't think you use really on anyone not named Reginald. But it was still such a good pull. Use this, this, and this. Nice. Yeah, we take that. Any healing we can ideally give to Magnus, we should. It's not much. Alright, nice. Barricade, sure. No. We'll pass. Right, you can have the emerald, buddy. It's not like I can use it. Yeah, it's the emerald staff. We unlock this, too. Don't think anyone's going to use them, but that's worth noting. Alright, one more fight, then we get Wilbur unlocked. I completely forgot how to do this. It just happened to fall in the way. I think we need to get rid of middle enemies here. In this particular fight, if you're running Thorns, the Lancers are always high priority. If you're not, they're really not. Stacks and fortified charges for Magnus, because everyone else is pretty much full health. I can't decide if I want to take out the Bishop or the Gunner. Because if I can just tear through the... Yeah, let's try it. If I can just tear through the Bishop, or the Gunner, sorry, regardless, then it's probably worth it. If not, it's a little dangerous. But you can see how much burst we have. Just don't slow Magnus, please. That's the most obnoxious thing these things keep doing. Okay, what's the plan? Yep, we're going to focus this thing down. And when we get to core focus too, they build up sanctified charges, which we do lose once we switch focus, but it's still nice. Holy Crusader is a good pull. Especially when I can actually use it. Yep. Gamble paid off. But this is what I've been talking about with a lot of enemies, where your strategy kind of does depend on whether or not you can blitz certain enemies or whether you need to do it evenly. Hawkeye, Chant of Accuracy, Deflect, and Multi-Shot. I really like these, I just keep mentioning I never got it. There's something to be said for giving the ring to Sylvia as well, but I think with the Sanctified charges it was safest to give it to Otis. Alright, what do we have to dispel? In all honesty, nothing meaningful enough. I don't want to go too trigger happy on spending the extra energy on dispels when it's nothing important, you know? Maybe get a better holy spell the next turn. Okay, well, we'll do one. Kind of funny that we're kind of killing this front Lancer as happenstance. Very nice. I almost feel like I should just kill the knight at this point. Yeah, that'll work. I do wonder how our this floor's boss will go with the duels. Because as always, stacking bleed is a win con, just not always a very safe one. Especially with the amount of shielding they give. Nice. When we're going net positive health on fights too, pretty good. Invigorating blow's not bad. No. No. How many does he have at this point? He has 3. You know what? Sure. Take the book about ancient technology. That's what we're supposed to have. And there we go. I forgot that's who it was too, because it didn't show Wilbur. It showed some random dwarf. But I think that is the most popular mage at high difficulty because of his, he's really good at giving energy to other characters. Hold the shield stance. Alright, this is an obnoxious fight. So I think this one can self-revive. I think we focus the bishop here, actually. I think the order would probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, just because of how this one works. If you can stack up bleeds and kill it before it... It's like, it has one of those once it drops to a certain health, it reheals and sheds debuffs. So focusing it isn't good unless you can get enough damage to chunk it immediately. Yeah, we'll do this. I should have praised the sun, actually, before. I forgot about the extra ring energy. No, that's a bad spell for it to take. That's okay. And I will, however, be trying to keep on top of debuffs with this fight because of how many they stack. When enemies just do a few random ones, I don't think it's worth the energy, but when they're enemies that can stack up really important things like mind damage, and there's so many debuffs they apply that, you know, dispels always go top down. So you do have to be careful. I think one of these enemies can silence as well. How much energy you have? 6? Okay. We sharpen. Quick shot. Multi-shot, then rapid fire bishop. Alright, what's it got? Yeah, that's the silent. The next person that hits this one is silenced. Even if it's like your pet or something, which is usually pretty obnoxious. That bounced in a weird way. It only hit these two. Holy Crusader. Smite. Holy Smite. And we'll go ahead and rain just for the extra regen. In some funny way, though, making it global still or leaving it global can work really well on Velkorath. But in general, I don't necessarily want to give energy to, or a little bit of regen to enemies, and I don't want to douse the fire if I'm applying it. Alright, but our first two are definitely taking some hits. And we don't have much Sanctify applied, which is also kind of a problem. Because that's how we've been regenning so much. Alright, this one's dead on turn start. We Solar Flare, Holy Nova. Good. It was I couldn't do one more spell because he got silenced off that, but it's not a big deal. It's Holy Nova. Smite. Do this, and we'll prep Focus Heal to maybe heal up Magnus a little bit. Yeah, we've gotten so much further than I thought we would. Same with yesterday, actually, though. I greatly underestimate how long these runs take, so I'm like, I'm gonna stream for like 2 hours today. Do a couple runs and then this happens. It's okay though, I really do enjoy this game, it's fun. Good. This is where though with the Sanctify team, Magnus having a bunch of cheap things or novelty all give punches works really well. So I think I actually need to do this and have her eat the silence, funnily enough. This is where it probably plays the revive. I didn't realize she had so much burn stacks right now, jeez. Oh, it didn't proc it. If we can burst this thing down, then that'd be good. Oh! That's what enemies do on this floor, though. Let alone the bosses. You think you're safe, and then all of a sudden you just get hit with the... Okay. All of my health disappeared. And we didn't quite reach the fire like I was talking about, so... Little dangerous, but... We should win this turn. Very nice. Alrighty. I'll take another Entrench, happily. No. Yeah, sure. If it's a free Mass Dispel. Alright, here we go. No reason to rest. Let's get going. These enemies, I don't believe you need to do evenly. However, they do alternate in who does the annoying thing they do. And they do heal per, like... At what point I think they heal per, like, every card you do. It gets real obnoxious. Not bad opening turn for them, though. They also have Shield Bash, which is scary. Alright, Otis's job here is to start applying Sanctify. And you always want to be damaging the one that doesn't have what they're about to use. I'm an idiot. One day. It's just not happening as often. If I had Mirror of Cassandra, I'd be doing that so much more. Because it's every turn, and it's any card, not just the first spell. I just keep forgetting Rain counts as a spell. Makes sense. But yeah, anytime it's damaged, it does a bunch of Sanctify Fire damage. This one does this on turn. So while you do want to lower the block, you don't want to actually hit them. How much will Sever Artery do? Yeah, see, Sever Artery would be nice, but it'll break it and it'll blast my team. We'll do it, but that's what it does. And they usually alternate, so unless they're somehow separated by speed, usually it's one drops it, the other one goes and picks it up. But because of Shield Bash, you do not want them to keep blocks, so you want to go down to the wire and just hopefully not hurt yourself real bad. The slow's not bad because Magnus is still faster. I miscalculated that. I should have looked. It tells me, I just wasn't paying attention. And why not? Here's our arena champion. I went with Valiant Defender over the Safeguard, but Safeguard might have been the play there. Chant of Accuracy, Quick Shot, and I'm actually going to hold off because I just don't want to blast myself here. Yeah, this is where the bosses start pulling out their own prismatic cards. So far, it's looking like a safe fight, but this fight gets out of hand real fast. Probably double Holy Nova here. And did I just spell nothing? For some reason I thought Magnus had stuff. That's awkward. Enrage. Impale. I think to be safe we'll leave that much on Dawn here. Yeah, because the Spider Bite would have activated it. Alright, Hawkeye, this. I really want to use Blade Dance, but it's gonna proc it, so. It's annoying. It's Shield Bashed with no block, though. That's funny. Alright, but now here we have this, right? Every time we play a card, lowest monster recovers HP. Every time we play a card, the lowest HP monster gets armor. This becomes very annoying very fast. And it's why, like, I think stacking debuffs are so good, like Bleed and Burn, and Sanctify too, to some extent. Because if you aren't on top of that, they're just gonna keep regenning. So you need to stack something that takes them down below that fast. Luckily that the pet didn't hit it. But the problem is, because of the way this fight works, Sylvie keeps drawing her AoE cards. Would really prefer her not to use them. There's something to be said for even not using some of our cheaper blocks so that they don't heal off Law of Light. Alright, how much energy do they have? I'd love to, well, let's do this. This is a fight, however, where high cost, high efficiency cards really pay off. And we won. Wow. Fourth run, I did not think we'd be seeing a Dusk and Dawn win. I really did not. Here we just end the turn. There's no reason to keep hitting them. Blaster. So we full heal at the end of the floor anyways, though. Cards. Push forward is good. Eviscerate could be cool, but we'll take it in case we can play it. Mass Dispel. That's a corrupted Mass Dispel. Dispel 5. Nice. And we hit our max level. We take energy regen increase. Sharp increase. I think Harley Corrupted is cool, but it's just likely to go down. I think I'm still going to do that for him too. What have we got? Wow, we got 2 more prismatics. Defiler isn't really useful to me here, I don't think. I think what I should do is actually give maybe Iron Fortress to Wilbur. Just because of the sheer amount of stats that gives him, because he's been so falling behind on HP. I wish I could use this, but I just don't think this is going to be helpful. These 2 rings are so good for Dark Comp. Cloak of Speed. This would be more speed and speed at combat start, but less HP and resistances. Pill. I'm pretty happy with what I have on everybody so far, so let's keep going. Surprising to see 2 prismatic items there. I don't think you usually get 2. Alright, here we go. So, we can go down to the switch, but it does nothing. I usually go up nowadays. There are a couple unlocks that you need to go to those statues, though. Yeah, if we can make it this far, we can unlock pretty much anyone, I think. This did, of course, take really good luck, but if we can make it to last floor, we're looking pretty good. Like, I'm genuinely so surprised we made it this far. And our damage is not looking bad. Alright, let's lead with Holy Nova, double it up. Nice, and we'll Divine Grace here. I mean, I know I said all enemies here are dangerous, but... sometimes that's the, oh, maybe the one we were fighting wasn't the one that does this. That's why, I was confused. That's awkward. Yeah, we took the reverberation so we can reduce... we'll be able to spam more holy spells with the back too now. And you can see Wilbur's so much more tanky. He's just a little slower now, which is fine. Magnus is hurt, but there's so much Sanctify. That's awkward. I was about to say there's so much Sanctify in the enemies if Magnus gets a singular hit. He'll recover a lot, but he didn't. I mean, this one has 60. It's one enemy down for sure, though. Oh. Okay. But the nice thing is, because we went this far, that we're going to get a heap more XP as well. But it did take a lot of luck. I mean, pulling Lightbringer off the 56% chance to even get a prismatic weapon was nuts. Like, when I said that and it actually happened, I was like, whoo! And this also helps, these types of talents help to save energy as well. But if we see any expensive light spells for either of them from here or not, I might just take them. Oh boy. Valiant Defender, Entrench, Wolfguard, Stockade. Nice thing is, too, because of the last talent, you can basically give Magnus at last level either just flat damage increase or flat energy increase. And in either case, it's useful, but I do think the flat energy increase is just better. So a lot of times, you're just not using Magnus to be a damage dealer. Like, he might have some supplementary damage, but that's not the prio cause. Like, it is good to have, though, these quick little... Oh! Never mind, I think we're gonna die here. Oh. And here I was thinking, man, this is going well. Maybe I can make it to the end. I knew we'd lose. I knew even with how strong we were at the lack of perks and stuff, we would not beat Archon Near. I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, at the very least, I proved myself right on the fact that these late-game enemies are dangerous. Like I said, maybe we could retry the combat and make it work, but that was such a fortunate run. Like, when you look at my... like, we got a lot of resources for our next run. We unlocked 2 characters as well. Like, I was just going for Malika. We ended up unlocking Wilbur as well as Heiner. Like, that run was with the intention of getting to maybe the 3rd plane and unlocking Malika. Real quick, though, we can look at our points. The town supplies ought to be done later, but as far as perks goes, I mean, Magnus more block is good. More speed is always nice, but I think we have to have more points than we can get. Resistance and stat is good. Initial energy is nice. Can I get that? No, we're 1 point off. Fast. I mean, he's not really applying fast. That's good for... Oh, yeah, that's fine for Magnus. For Sylvie, in an ideal world, we keep pumping sharp charges, as well as slashing and piercing damage, depending on what ends up being available to you. Speed is good. We'll go for the energy as well. And, oh, yeah, we're out of points. It's so nice that they made this universal. I don't know if it always was that way. I know the ranks are for this stuff is, of course, character by character, but that's so good. Can we get more holy damage? No. We'll just go for some base stats then. I mean, starting gold and stuff isn't bad. It's more just... I think these starting golds all as well are really good for when you're doing higher madness. Where, for example, you can't have chest rewards. So, it makes it more difficult. So the actual investment there pays off a little bit better. Here we go. More holy damage. He's not really applying Sanctify, to be fair. Can he get Bless? He can. That's big. Actually, is there a way that I could, for example, do this? Go back and do this. Okay, that works a little better. He's not really too heavy into Sanctify. Alright, but looking at the other characters, Heiner's big shtick is blocking. He does some blunt damage. Get some basic stats, right? But Heiner's big shtick is you get down here, and you get Fortify Cannot Be Purged, or one of these, you know. Maximum charges are 50, yada yada. You can basically just make Heiner be a big wall. And then you make it so that Heiner can't... Like, Heiner just never dies. Like, unless his Fortify is purged. Fun character, but very, very low base speed, which is a problem. Like, base speed's 13. Magnus's base speed is 19. With Anduin, I don't really know what the correct build is for Anduin, in all honesty. I feel like you usually just go between melee and ranged, and I usually go, like, bleed. But there's just other characters that are better for bleed, so the characters I don't know what to do on, a lot of times I'll just go for very generic perks. And then once I decide what I kind of want to specialize in them in, I rechange the tree. Because you're not stuck on the tree. Malika, I'm excited to play Dark Comp again. So good. But we go for more general perks. I was saying, until we can get the specific Dark and Shadow damage. Very nice. And for now, we'll just do maybe 1 point this. Like, just the base stats, too, are surprisingly important. You wouldn't think those small flat amounts make a huge difference, but they do. The Queen's really based on frost damage. I think you can get insulation off her, but I don't usually go for that. Speed's good. Frost, not enough points. Sometimes, depending on where you level to, you end up in these awkward points where you might assign some perks and then go back a little bit later. When you can do something more efficiently. Yager is slashing bleed, as well as if you can get wherever it is, the I can find it, these charges. The problem is I don't want to give him Sanctify, so I probably won't do that. And Yager, to be fair, you don't even usually invest too heavily in bleed. It's usually other perks. But I'm not too sure what I'll do with Wilbur. Wilbur, a lot of times what you can do is you can go electricity. Like with this, like water electricity, mess around with it. You can do a lot of scroll builds. Like I've said before, my friends call him Energizer Dwarf because you can really mess around with giving other characters unlimited energy, pretty much. Not unlimited, but ridiculous amounts. Some of the cards I passed up on, you could probably see, have a lot of energy giving. Evelyn's a lot of times, yeah. She's like the versatile characters. I feel like of the initial 4 you're supposed to start with outside of DLC, Reginald's the only one that really specializes something like Bless. Whereas these 3 are more generic. Magnus is just generically fast, that's why you use him for blocking, but he can kind of do whatever. Balanced warrior, no. Scout who specializes in anything. Versatile mage. But, yeah, for whenever we do the next Across the Obelisk stream, we're definitely going to look at unlocking Zek and maybe Novelly Alea. Each of which does take, like... I'm trying to think of what we can do. Because Nesglict, I believe, takes most of her run. Cornelius takes your first and second plane. Zek also takes your first and second plane, which is a problem because you have to do a specific node in Synethia. I don't know if you can do them in the same run, but that would be nice. Gustav, I believe, is one plane. Duels is the top of Synethia in the swamp. Gruckly, you have to bring a fish from the bottom of Synethia. Like, that's the issue with all of these characters, is even the ones that only take 1 or 2 planes, like, not your entire 3rd and 4th plane to get into, or 2nd and 3rd, I should say, they require specific nodes in the first area, which limits you. We'll also definitely need to go for some pet hunting, because some of these, I can't remember for the life of me, but slowing enemies and applying the debuff is nice. I mean, some of these are specific, like poison, electric build. The beavers here are really obnoxious because you have to go in a specific order of your first 3 planes. I know the 3rd one has to be blue. I can't remember if the 2nd one's green or red, but you have to do a specific order and you have to do it 3 times to unlock them. This one's like bring a sack of grain to the top, but I don't know, lots of cool stuff. Like I said, this game could be super fun to do with another full save file, and we'll probably do that in the future. But anyways, guys, thanks for everyone who stopped by, watch the VOD. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.